like a good beat to it.
I know.
So yeah, today we're doing something very different because I was like, we're doing one game. We're gonna shoot the moon and do something just totally gonzo bonkers. Yeah, there's some constraints that we're playing inside. Like, if the deck of many things were to show up, you really want your characters to have some history and some background. And like, if I just hand you a piece of paper that has like a bunch of story about your character, like 3 pages of story about your character, you're never gonna read that. Like, you're not gonna do it. So what I've decided to do is, for starters, we're going to take D&D and another game that I really like called Fiasco. What? And we're going to blend those games together into one game. So we're going to use the character creation system from Fiasco, where you guys are going to create characters that already have relationships and backgrounds and histories with each other, and with the town of Dry Gulch, where you are going to be playing. And then after that, I've got a bunch of pre-generated stat blocks, basically. You get to choose one of them as appropriate, as the one that you think is the most appropriate to your character, and go with that one. The other catch with this game is that we are not using 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. We are using basic D&D from 1981.
Yes! 81?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like...
Before my time.
This is like 20 years older than you are.
What?
It's been a long time since I got to make
Well, I mean, you guys made a really big business decision when you decided to bring in, like, the 12-year-old onto Loading Ready Run, but I really appreciate it, Mr. View.
So,
we didn't know you were 12. The beard threw us.
So lethality is going to be high, and we're going to be a little gonzo bonkers, but it's going to be fun, I think, I hope. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the town of Dry Gulch, and then we're going to start making our characters. So Dry Gulch is a town in this D&D world. I don't think it shares a world with any other campaign that you have played, but maybe you could decide that it does. Let me tell you about it before you make that decision. It is sort of a straight-up combination, pastiche, between your classic Dungeons & Dragons city and a spaghetti western. Sort of the setting of a spaghetti western. So you've got, like, you know, the Baron's Keep, and you've got the you've got like a wizard's tower and all the things that you would expect from D&D, but then you also have like a sheriff and you know, a yardarm and all the fun stuff that you've got in a western. That's basically what the town is like. Now, up the road a ways is Pewter Hawk City, pardon me, Pewter Hawk City. And Pewter Hawk City is where, you know, the big fat cats live. You guys live in Dry Gulch. Dry Gulch was like a happening place for a little while, but it's called Dry Gulch because maybe it used to be called like Happening Gulch or something, but it's called Dry Gulch now because there was a gold mine and the gold mine ran out of gold. So it all went dry. But now it's particularly dry because a little while ago, the dwarves that were in charge of like running that gold mine, they had this big guild, and they, you know, they've been pulling gold out of the mine. They've been on hard times because of course there was no gold left in the mine. And they got a big contract from Pewter Hawk City to dam the river that feeds into Dry Gulch and divert all that water, because Pewter Hawk City just needs more water. They just need more water for the people. And so now the arrangement in Dry Gulch is that the water gets shipped back from Pewter Hawk City on these big wagons. They fill up these huge tanks of water and bring it back to Pewter Hawk City, and it gets put in a water tower in the middle of town overnight. So water's become quite valuable, but it's okay because the fat cats in Pewter Hawk City, they have all the water that they want. So Dry Gulch has become especially dry. There is one respect in which it is not very dry, and that is the fact that people drink a lot, because
thank God there's ale.
So yeah, that's Dry Gulch. That's the most important thing to understand, or that's I think the most important things to understand. Let's get to character creation. You all have 2 index cards in front of you. Now, basically, these are going to get sort of passed to your left, to the spaces between you and the person to your left. Now, some of you are across the table from each other, so this could be a little bit awkward. But so we'll say that Dale will be the custodian of these cards that count for him and Ben. And I guess, Ian, you can be the custodian of those cards that count for you and Kathleen.
I think I can reach us.
And what these cards represent is different, is things that the 2 of you share. Pieces of information, stuff from your past, stuff from your personalities. They're shared information or shared experiences that you have together that make you better people. Not necessarily better people, probably way worse people. More fleshed out people. So the green card represents a relationship, a strictly speaking, some kind of relationship. The yellow card can be one of 3 other categories. It can be a location, it can be an item, or it can be an objective. And so we will talk about how those cards get filled out, I guess, right now. So first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to roll all these dice.
That's so many dice.
That's a lot.
Okay. A lot of 1s and 2s in there.
That seems unfortunate.
Family and work.
So, and then we have these 4 pieces of paper. So the 4 pieces of paper, as I say, they're objects, locations, needs, and relationships. What's going to happen is we're going to go around, and each of you is going to take a turn. You're going to choose a die, and the die is going to correspond to one of the dice. There's 3 pictures of dice beside each line on this piece of paper. If you look at the way that these are formatted, there are 6 different categories on each page. So relationships, there are 6 kinds of relationships: family, work, the past, romance, crime, and community. Okay, so you're going to pick one of those dice, and you can choose any card between any two people, and fill out sort of the top piece of information on that. So if you choose the relationship card, you have to choose one of these categories to fill out on one set of people's cards. Okay. So like Ben, you could say like, I'm going to take a 1 and I'm going to put a family relationship between Kathleen and Dale. Okay. Now, if they already had a family relationship, or if they already had a relationship, you could then use that die to pick one of the subcategories inside.
Okay.
So if they already had a family relationship and you picked, say, a 2, then that would define them as cousins. And so we're just going to go around the table. People are going to keep picking dice and figure those things out. Now, as I say, the green card always has to be picked from this relationship sheet, but the yellow card can be picked from any of these other 3 sheets.
Okay.
All right. So Ben, you want to go first?
Sure. So I just pick a dice kind of a thing?
Yeah. I mean, sort of, why don't we pass these guys around so
Does
people
the
can sort of get an idea of what's on here, and you can pass the pages around. Oh, Dale's got another set of them too. So great.
Does the die leave the board?
Yes, the die leaves the board.
Okay.
So
like I grab a dice and that counts as one of the things.
right, exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to run out of dice after 16 choices.
Okay.
The D12 is a wild die, and it is just going to sit there and for the entire time. So,
okay.
till the
Can I pick one for myself, or does it have to be for other people?
It can be for anyone, any relationship at the table, or any card at the table that you desire.
Okay.
So you can say between you and Ian, or you and Dale, or between.
I'm going to take 4.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick romance.
Okay.
And that's going to be a romance between myself and Dale.
Okay.
Okay.
Good start.
I had already decided I was taking a 4 because.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, Ian, you are next up.
I'm gonna take a 2 here, and make a work relationship between myself and Kathleen.
Oh, how exciting.
It's so true to
I
life.
mean, I'm okay with people leaving me out of their kissing plans, to be honest.
I didn't
Not
say
after
that.
you see our love. Or potentially ex-love. We'll see what happens there.
All I say is whatever we're doing at work. So.
Yeah, it's perfect. All right. Slide me them dice. What do we got a lot of? I guess.
A lot of ones.
This is, yeah, I'll take a 1 just because there's a lot. And I'm going to say this is going to be a relationship between me and Dale, because I have that card in front of me. And I'm going to say that we are.
Oh, if it's a 1, it's family.
Oh, it has to be a family relationship?
Yeah. If you choose
take
a 1.
Because
Okay.
that's what it means. This is the 1, 2, 3,
Oh.
4, 5, 6.
Sorry, I just noticed a surly donkey on these
Yeah,
sheets, and
on
I'm
the
really
transfer,
happy.
yeah. I
Oh,
was
so I'd
thinking
have to
about
take a
that.
6 to make us elected officials then.
Right.
Can that just be like character class?
Well,
Certainly
you
there is
would,
one. So
you would
go ahead.
choose, yeah, you would choose community first, but then someone else could potentially choose one of the different community roles for you before it gets back to you.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm taking that 6 because I want to put a community relationship between Dale and I.
Okay, I'm going to take a 2 And Kathleen, this is going on your yellow card because you and I need to get even.
Oh.
Oh.
To get even. Okay.
All right, my turn. Okay. I want another sort of relationship in a way. So I think. What do we got over there? Is there 5? Okay. I'm gonna take this 5. Ian, you and I have some sort of crime relationship.
Cool. I don't know if I want to fill that in yet or not. Let's see here. What do we got on the table? I'm just going to grab a number randomly. This big old 6 here. Okay. Yeah. Do we all have relationships between ourselves at this point?
I've got one connecting me and Dale and you. Me and you.
So romance, community, work.
Okay,
and
so that's
crime.
all taken care of. Good.
Yeah.
But each of those needs to be defined in some way still.
Yeah. Okay, well, you got crime.
Yeah. What did you take?
I took a 6.
That would mean we're grave robbers.
Sounds cool.
Hell yeah! Ben and Ian, grave robbers.
Love it.
I love it. Do crimes.
All right. My turn?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This time I will take a 1 because I think there's the most ones. There's some 2s and 3s. You know what? I'm gonna take a 4 because there's only one 4. Sorry, Dale.
That's okay. I'll do something else.
All right. So we can either define our relationship. Sorry, it's been a long time since I played Fiasco. So that means I can put a 4 under any of these.
So our relationship is community. So if you use a 4, we are the law of the land. If you want us
Okay.
to be elected officials, you have to take a 1.
Right.
Oh, that's so good though. Because if you guys are that, and we get like ex-lovers or something like that, you dumped me because I went to be a grave robber.
Yeah. We can be the law of the land. Great.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so that goes on the green card underneath the community. Yep.
All right. Well, I need to make a new plan here.
Oh, I have not been planning. I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm just grabbing them.
All right. So, Ben, there's a location that's important to our romance.
Oh, okay.
And it's on Main Street.
Oh, okay. So that's the yellow card.
Yeah. So I'm taking care of our stuff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But it does need to be defined further.
Right. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right, my turn. Are there any ones that I guess haven't been defined in a great way?
Dale and I don't know why we're getting even.
Okay.
And me and Ian just have a work relationship.
Is this the objects or needs?
Ours is a relationship.
Right. Oh, to get even.
Yeah.
Traditionally in Fiasco, we need to have at least one location, one need, and one object. I don't know if you're enforcing that.
I mean, we can.
Okay.
It makes sense to want to have what are we missing? Just an object?
Yeah, we don't have an object.
All
yet.
right. So we should probably have an object in there somewhere.
Okay. Why don't I grab an object then? I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna go and grab this 5. Let's say transportation. This is.
Oh no, so 5 would
That's
be
one.
5 would be.
Oh, 5 would be sentimental.
Yep.
Okay. All right. There's a sentimental object in some way.
Great.
What, between you and Ian?
We form. Oh yeah.
You can put it on any. Well, I mean, you
Any
can
open
put it
card.
on any open card.
So Kathleen and I also need some sort of yellow.
Okay, then yeah, you guys have a sentimental object between you.
Okay.
Oh, from work.
All right.
It's a surly donkey.
Is it?
That'd be their
No, it's not.
transportation.
Sentimental
There is
donkey.
still a yellow card open if you want to get that surly donkey in there. But
Okay, I'm going to take this out of here to make it easy because that's a 5, I'm assuming. D12 divided by 2.
the D12 is not in play. It's a wild. It's a
good.
wild die. It's at the very end.
Good. And then let's grab this 5. And that's going to be... I'm going to just define... You know what? I'm going to define the object.
Oh, between me and Ian?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's a worried silver coin with a jagged edge.
Oh.
Wow. That's very poetic. Who came up with that description?
I did.
Hey.
job. Oh,
All right.
okay.
Is there anything that still needs to be defined still?
Like
Okay.
like,
think you're
like
right.
large scale definition.
I think the yellow card between the two of you is still blank. Is that right?
Yeah.
Completely, yep.
That's completely.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
yeah.
So you guys don't have an object, a need, or a location?
No.
Oh, well, in that case, you have a need.
Take that one. Give us that.
I'm just trying to see what's. So, you have a need to get rich.
Ooh, I like this.
So that's between Ben and Ian.
As grave robbers,
By robbing the grave.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sad that by robbing the grave is not underneath the to get rich.
All right. So Kathleen, you and I need to get even with the fat cats who shut down the mine. Also
Oh.
the river.
Oh, perfect.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're looking out for the law of this land.
That's right. So that's the further definition of our need.
All right. We've got 2 1s and a 2, and I think we still need to define the relationship between Dale and I.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take that 1.
And the location.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna take that 1.
Mm-hmm.
And say that we are former spouses.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to make this flavorfully work well.
Okay.
I'm going to take the 1 here, and I'm going to finish defining the work relationship between Kathleen and I. And
Okay.
I'm going to say I have a side job being a miner.
A minor.
Yeah, I mean, I dig graves during the day and mine during the nights.
There you go. Yeah. All right. The boy can't stop digging.
Yep.
I guess the graveyard is where you don't want to be at night, and when you're in the mine, it's dark anyway.
Like mine is taking things out of the ground. Grave robbing is putting them back. Wait, sorry, grave
No.
digging is putting it back in.
We don't know what our need to get.
We're robbers? No, I'm mining all the time. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
Okay, so before I go, I have, I think, a fairly well-defined relationship with Dale. And we have a pretty well-defined relationship with you. So do you guys need anything fleshed out there?
I mean, Dale and I are former spouses.
We have a Main Street location that's important, but we don't know where on Main Street.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ben
perfect.
and I need to know how we're going to get rich.
Okay, well, in that case, I will take this 2 and say it's on top of the old water tower.
Oh yes, I remember that night.
Oh, that was a good night.
Ah, the water tower. It was moist.
It was dewy.
It was dewy.
Use a sexy adjective, at least.
Moist is sexy.
I'm sorry, I don't find Mayor Dewey sexy.
Mayor Dewey.
You rang.
So I have a wild card on the need to get rich. That's the one that needs to be defined, right?
Yes.
Do you have an opinion here, Kathleen?
Oh,
Because this one seems pretty funny, given what they do.
yeah.
Should I just go with that? Can I have your need card, please?
Give him the yellow.
Uh-oh.
I'm excited.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, just laughing.
Dale's altering the punctuation.
Oh, that's always good.
All right.
Okay, Ben, rate it to
I'm
me.
helping.
So Ian and I, we have a need to get rich.
Hold on. I think I want to take a sip of something while you read this out to me. Go ahead.
By digging up buried treasure.
That tracks.
There we go.
Love it.
There are quotation marks around buried treasure. Okay, what do I do now?
That was fine.
Is that-
Good job.
I think
Thanks.
that's it.
Yeah,
I think we're out of
yeah.
dice.
We're out of
You're
dice.
you're out of dice. Your characters are more or less defined. So do you want to come up with some more slightly more details? Like give me maybe a little bit of a quick bio of your characters before you
Absolutely.
choose before you choose stats or after you choose stats?
No, before.
Before you choose stats.
let's
Okay.
do
Yeah, I like before.
Let's do before.
Okay. So give us give me the I don't know the 20-second pitch for who your character is, how they came up to be who they are, and what their situation is.
Okay, my name is, I guess I'll give myself a name now because I said I was going to. My name is Terry.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's Terry. Terry Good Stuff. And Terry was once an officer of the law at one point, in which he formed a lovely budding relationship with another officer. But then he got involved too deep in some loan sharking that was going on around, and had to pick up a side job with a old buddy from way back when. And they decided to become grave robbers. He found out, his spouse found out about it. They got they got divorced, and now he's just grave robbing and trying to get rich by digging up that treasure.
Well, let me tell you something here, Crankor. He ain't nothing. He ain't know nothing but digging all his life. Ever since he was a young boy, that Crankor, he found himself a nice shiny little coin in the ground, and now he just spent the rest of his life keep digging. He once had a mine out of town, but that done dried up, and he's found, over time, that the easiest way to find the shiny things in the ground is, well, to find where the people who took him down into the ground be lying now. And he found someone to help him out.
Hey, Terry Good Stuff.
Yeah, get that good stuff
Oh,
with the Terry.
Terry talks in third person.
Ain't that right? How about you there, Kathleen?
I'm cycling through a whole variety of stupid first names, but I'm gonna say I am Euphemia Flunt, and I am the law of this land, particularly the permitting law of this land, and I work in Dry Gulch City Hall with miners issuing permits and deciding where people can and cannot dig. I'm gonna tell you, they are feisty. They'll dig anywhere. It's like, hey, is that Main Street? Is that where like your main telegraph cable goes through? Don't care, digging. And so it was my job as the law of the land to stop people from doing that and undermining the foundation of several useful and vital buildings. And I used to work with Crankor because he had his mine, and so I would issue him permits.
All up on the up and up, I might add.
Crankor was a very up and up guy, and I work for City Hall, and of course, as a law of the land, I have a great need to get even with the fat cats who shut down the mine and the river, because I like the river, because I like drinking water, and also I liked issuing permits because it was my job. But luckily, I have a good union arrangement, so now I'm the janitor, and it sucks butt. So I'm Euphemia Flunt. Did I? Oh, my mic is too low.
Yeah.
Like.
I get the impression that some of that came from like a place of personal dissatisfaction, far in your past.
I did used to issue permits for a certain bad company. Can you mute my mic? And I'm just gonna run it up my shirt, so this will just take a second. Go ahead, Dale.
All right. I am Zal the Accursed. So, my life, contrary to my name, has actually been really, really good. I've had so very, very many good things happen to me. I think I've had more good things happen to me than anyone else has. All of those good things have gone away. And so people say that I am accursed, but this is it. I am going to break this curse, and I'm going to get back together with my sweetie. And I know that Terry is now with the necrophiliac, but that's okay because I think that my blood flow will encourage him to come back to me. Meanwhile, during the day, I have been promoted from being in charge of water rights to being the assistant custodian.
For the whole town?
Well, I'm your helper.
Oh, you're a helper. How exciting. Oh, we're both janitors.
Janitors and the grave robbers.
Well, so that's where we're doing our community stuff.
Right. We're the law of the land as long as the law is not littering.
You're waging a war on justice and dirt.
And sometimes people move those little like velvet ropey bollards that I set up in front of the water tower to line up, and that makes me very angry. I can tell you what.
It might just be all the dew that's over there.
So there is technically a sheriff, and he has various deputies that he appoints on a pro tem basis, but he is completely corrupt, and he's just does whatever the high fat cats tell him to do.
Now, is it the fat cats or is it the unionists? Because the unionists also have some sway in town. There's they run the casino and they there's some palms being greased in other ways too.
I feel like what you're talking about is the reality, whereas what I'm talking about is Zell's belief.
Okay, yes, all right.
Because Euphemia, and I are, all about the fat cats and hating the fat cats.
Right, okay, gotcha.
So there might be other people actually responsible for the bad things. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, well now we know who everyone more or less is. I have these 7 pages of stats. Maybe we could pick some stats that we think sort of more or less line up with our characters in some way. Now, you'll notice a few things from the fact that this is basic Dungeons & Dragons from 1981. So I think, Dale, did you actually have another copy of these as well?
I did.
Wow.
Excellent. Well, I will let you guys... we will have 2 piles then to look at.
But we get to look at them before? They're not just being random?
No, I'm not just going to assign them. I will let you figure it out.
I mean, do you want to roll for it?
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
So there's 7? I mean, there's not a D7.
It's probably best if you choose 4 different character classes.
Okay, all right.
There's one distinctive thing that you'll notice about these character classes.
The cute artwork.
They're very cute.
Yes. By the way, it was I said that I was not sure what you would what you would choose for your character's sexes like beforehand.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he made variations, and which was super accommodating, but also landed on this really awesome art style, which is amazing.
Yeah, because you're like the minor guy.
I don't know if you guys...
Yeah, I think that actually makes sense flavor-wise.
Okay.
These will go up, but they look amazing, Chad. So you guys sound like you've just grabbed some stuff. I think Crankor has grabbed the minor for obvious plot-related reasons.
Yeah.
You'll note that what is the miner's class?
Is a dwarf.
Right.
Yes.
I knew about this. Elf and like halfling and dwarf were like their own classes.
Their classes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really care. So like, you guys can go, and I'll make sure we don't die. Hopefully.
Cleric?
Might be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how I make this work in with my scorned lover.
I mean,
You could just stop scorning me.
I can't do that. The wounds are too deep, Zal.
oh, you took a vow. It was so deep. You took a vow of celibacy.
I don't know if I can go a whole session without swearing. No, I know
You don't know what celibacy is.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, something else that we should be clear about with Fiasco, and you probably saw Dale do it a little bit earlier. If you wanted to find something about the world, like you'll notice that the holy symbol on this cleric is like 2 horseshoes stuck together.
Yeah.
And I had sort of made reference to the priests of Winnie in the playset. So I'm assuming that it's a cleric of Winnie, but we haven't defined anything about the dogma or doctrine of Winnie or any of those things. I don't care what that is. You can go ahead and define away
Winnie,
whatever you want, and just toss it in there. And if you say it's true, it's true.
Okay. I think the one that really appeals to me. I'm kind of caught between thief now. Like I'm all in on the thief lifestyle. Because I'm way too deep in on the loan sharks. So I think I'm going to go the thief route.
So that means our 4 choices are magic user, halfling, elf, and...
There should be 5 left, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, 5? Okay.
I mean, we should probably have a cleric for the party.
Time. Terry's going to do crime. I'm in too deep, Crankor.
Yeah, I mean, it's being in deep's been what I've been living through my entire life, son. We're gonna get you on out.
I don't
And
know.
we're gonna get you out on top.
Is there any redemption for somebody like Terry?
Well, seeing as where we live,
All right.
It's all a matter of how much of that sweet, sweet coin
The
you
halfling
got.
is the one that is not in your.
Redemption
Oh, no,
ain't
there it is.
nothing
It's right
but a
there.
number, boy.
Money is a terrible, terrible thing.
All right.
If there was some way that we could
I'll
finally
be
ruin
the
it.
meat shield who dies first.
Okay.
If I must say,
Okay,
the easiest
how
way to get rid of
important
money
is it for us to
is
have
to
a cleric?
exchange it
Well,
for
okay.
goods and
So
or
some things
services.
to understand about clerics in
keep on.
this edition of Dungeons and
Let's say
Dragons.
before the show.
You have 2 spells a day. You can't just toss spells away for healing like you can in some other editions. You don't have you can't make healing bursts that heal people. You have 1 spell of Cure Light Wounds that is like 1d6 in healing. So healing is like super bad, but it's also super expensive. And you'll also notice that the characters, your characters have like between 4 and maybe 10 silver pieces. You can't afford any healing magic right now. Also, you heal up super slowly. So, if you want
So it's not fucking worth it, is what you're telling me.
it might be very worth it, is actually partly what I was
Alright,
saying.
I
I'm saying
will be the
healing is super
cleric.
bad, but it's
Whoa.
definitely hard to get healed if you get hurt.
All right, cleric it is, because obviously there's a high chance of a TPK, but maybe we should try not to immediately.
No one picked any of the characters with guns.
I'm sorry.
No, no, it's not. You don't have to apologize. That's fine. You don't have to have the guns. You don't need the guns. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
Time for crime.
Research 6 says it feels like it's harder to heal in first edition than it is IRL.
Okay, so.
But I am a clerical cleric, points out Chemistring. So I work in I'm a cleric.
Oh,
and
you're
I'm a
right. Yeah,
cleric.
you were also like a clerk.
Or I was a clerk and now I'm a janitor. So F those fat cats.
I'm the fighter.
So if you want to prep different spells, there's all the spells that
Well,
you
you
can.
said I can't afford to prep anything.
Well, no, what I said is that if you guys wanted to go to a temple and say heal me, you can't afford that, but you can
Oh.
afford to prep more cure spells if you wanted to.
Okay,
or
but I
whatever,
get 2 spells per
day.
day.
Yeah. So those are when you choose new spells, you can choose those ones instead if you want.
Okay, so because I come with Cure Light Wounds and Protection from Evil prepped. Can I do Cure Light Wounds X2?
To. If you want to, yeah.
Excellent, but it's not like I can learn 2 spells and cast 1 twice. I have to be one slot is Cure Light Wounds.
Correct.
And the other slot also has to be Cure Light Wounds.
Correct.
Perfect. This is like Final Fantasy 1.
It's almost like Final Fantasy 1 was heavily inspired by old school Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
It's amazing. You pick all the different classes at the beginning, and yeah, it's very old D&D. Okay, so we should understand some things about what it is to play old school D&D before we actually dive into this, both for your benefit and also for the chat's benefit. So in this system, you have your ability scores at the top. Now, ability checks in basic D&D are optional. They're an optional rule. In this game, we will probably be using that optional rule. So if you need to check against an ability score, you roll a d20 and you are trying to roll your score or under. Okay? So if you need to make a strength check and your strength is 15, you roll, no one has a strength of 15, you roll a d20 and you're trying to get 15 or under.
So if I had a strength of 10 and I just rolled, but I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20s would always fail. For
This is everything I don't understand about D&D. Oh man.
Oh, it's like coming home.
I'm just gonna roll dice, tell you what the number is, and you can tell me how bad I am at this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Now,
Wait till he tells you how the lower the armor class is, the better.
Oh no.
I fixed that.
Wait. Oh god.
Don't
Okay.
worry,
I was
fixed
like, I have armor
fixed
AC
the armor class
16.
thing. Yeah. So now below your ability checks, you have saving throws, and those are not an optional rule. So the ability checks are very nebulous because you actually don't want to roll dice in this game unless you absolutely have to, in general. If you roll dice, it probably means you're in danger and you're probably making a saving throw, and if you fail, something really bad is going to happen to you. So your saving throws are versus death, wands, paralysis, breath, and spells, but really you're saving against whatever seems appropriate at the time. So for example, if you got bitten by a poisonous snake, you might save versus death. If you were trying to jump out of the way of a lightning bolt that was coming down from the heavens, you might save versus breath or wands, depending on the situation. The saving throw categories are kind of nebulous, but basically it's anytime that you have to roll that your life is in danger, you make a save versus something. And there are probably established rules for doing this that I'm going to not follow, and I'm just going to arbitrarily choose which saving throw that you make to try and avoid situations that might kill you. Yeah, when you roll a saving throw, conversely, you're trying to roll that number or higher. Okay? So if your saving throw versus death is a 13 and you roll a 13, you succeed. If you roll a 14, you succeed. If you roll a 12, you do not. And something bad happens. So that's the sort of main mechanics of the game. That's really all you need to understand for the most part. You have some thief skills. They're all mostly percentiles. When you make those thief skill rolls, you roll that, and you're trying to roll under.
Okay.
Now.
Damn.
Now.
I'm really good at climbing sheer surfaces.
You're extremely good at that.
That's how you got up the water tower.
Yeah.
Even though it was very dewy.
89% on climbing up sheer surfaces.
Okay, so this is something that I really feel is important to really drive home, because it is a very fundamental difference in the play styles of modern D&D and old D&D. Your characters are really fragile, like just really incredibly fragile. How many hit points does everyone have?
I have 10.
16.
10.
16.
You are third level characters, and you have this many hit points.
16.
If you hit 0 hit points, you don't go unconscious. You do not get, you don't start bleeding out. You die. So don't hit 0 hit points. Don't let that happen.
Okay.
The best way to not let that happen is to not let anyone attack you. Frankly. Especially, you don't have any squishy magic users or whatnot. But like,
I mean, I'm kind of a squishy magic user.
You are probably the squishiest magic user of the bunch right now, but you like get to wear armor and stuff. So yeah, just be very aware that you're really fragile, and things can go bad in combat very, very quickly. The lethality is turned up to 11 here, so keep it in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is initiative works differently in this system than what you might be used to. So if you go and then the bad guy goes, you're not necessarily going to get to go again before the bad guy goes again, which means that it's very possible for things to turn very south very quickly and for you to not have a lot of control.
You don't say.
Okay.
So yeah, just be aware of the stakes when you're, faced with dangerous situations, and act accordingly. And the mantra of like you want to avoid rolling dice as much as possible is not a bad one. You want to probably find interesting solutions to things. The trademark way, or the trademark sort of solution to this is, or not solution to this, but example of this is like you've got a bunch of bandits in a house who are holed up, and you want to kill them. You don't break in the front door and attack them. You just burn down the house.
Burn the house down.
Right, exactly. So yeah, format of the game. I have a few encounters that I have planned, but we're also going to do the fiasco thing. So between my encounters, I'm going to let you guys just completely define what you want to be happening based on your character's objectives and goals and whatever. They don't have to line up at all with what you think that the plot that I'm trying to tell is. You can do whatever you want.
Your job is to make it work.
Your job is to, my job is to make it work. Your job is to do whatever you think your character wants to do, and so that's important. Aside from the first scene, not every character has to be in every scene. You can choose for your character to not be in a scene. If you choose for your character to not be a scene, you may embody any other character in the entire town that you want to and bring them into the scene. This also gives us an out for if your character dies, you can play anyone else in any scene that you want to. So I would like for you to mostly be involved in, as players, mostly be involved in the scenes, but if your character wouldn't be there, you don't have to be there. That's fine. Just play whoever you want to. That also gives us a note for, and the scenes that you define, I don't care. They can be like flashbacks if you want them to be. So if your character did die and you're like, yeah, let's go back to the point where my character was alive and have them do something else, you can do that. If you want to jump into another campaign entirely, I mean, we have other dungeon masters here who have done other campaigns, so like maybe you could do that for your scene. I don't care. Do whatever you want. And and always split the party. All right, so as we open, our characters are on a caravan. Do we want to take a break, Paul?
Let's say bye bye to chat at least before we
that's a good
actually start
idea.
the campaign proper.
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat. See you in a few hours.
Thanks for joining us for character creation. Okay, So yeah, you've been traveling from Pewterhawk City, and I don't know why you're in Pewterhawk City in general, but it's always safer to travel through the desert, badlands, and whatnot as a group. And so you've got onto this caravan that is largely centralized around the sort of like big water carriage that is making its way slowly back towards Dry Gulch. What does everyone see their role as being here? What were you up to in Pewter City, and what are you maybe doing or talking about on the way back?
Well, Crankor and Terry, we went down to Pewter City because all of our digging tools for our gardening endeavor that we do, they got all little munged up on our last big gardening expedition, and when we gardened all their things out, they broke. So we need to go and get the new ones over at Pewter City.
Ain't nothing like Pewter City to get some quality materials, ain't that right, boy?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just so happens that my former lover just happened to be here, I guess. What are you even doing here, Zal?
Well, as I'm sure you can tell, I've spent the last half hour winking at you, just like this.
You know, we were together for so long, I know when you're doing it. And you might pitter-patter my heart, but that time is over between us.
It was over, and now, will you have dinner with me tonight?
Ain't nothing left in this boy's heart.
I wasn't talking to you.
No, that's all right, Cranko. I can deal with this. Listen,
All right.
I don't have justice in my heart. I don't care about no dirty streets.
So dinner?
All right, we'll talk about it later.
As I was saying, nothing left in this boy's heart but the dirt of the earth. The soil between his fingers and under his fingernails. Why, that's where we're going to find our fortune.
Absolutely, in the garden.
Yeah, yes, in the garden.
So that's your ex, Zell?
Isn't he dreamy?
Wait a minute. As I live and breathe, you familiar? What is the flunk doing here?
Filing a union grievance with head office.
Are you still quarreling with them?
No. Well, I mean, I'm not quarreling with the union, but of course, when things don't perhaps go your way at work, you do have to follow the proper protocols. File the grievance in triplicate, which does require a trip to Pewter City, then to bring back the things, have them notarized by the mayor, then have them re-notarized by the assistant mayor, because the mayor has buggered off to go drinking
Terry
in the
hates
saloon
the
again.
bureaucracy.
Well, that is the difference between you and me. You always had the head for dealing with those fat cats the way that I never could.
I have all of my stamps collected here, arrayed from most to least irritating to get, and I'm sure that by the time we're done this, we'll be switching to a less abrasive style of hand soap in the communal bathrooms.
One does hope I'm a little raw myself.
I hate that every time. I think I'm slightly allergic. Terry goes home with really red hands all the time.
Yeah, that orange Gojo sucks. We're gonna get something with maybe like a vanilla scent or something.
You ever get itchy palms?
Yeah.
Itchy palms are the worst thing ever.
It riles up my eczema, something fierce. So I filed a grievance, and in 6 to 9 months we should see results.
People start screaming and yelling. You guys
I
didn't
hate
even know.
that soap too.
Yeah, they're behind this man. It's a good thing you really did that.
You guys were so busy like bickering with each other that you barely even noticed that there was this big dust storm that got kicked up over there, and slowly but surely, well, actually very quickly but surely, all the cows from the ranch over there have sort of like been charging towards your little convoy. And now there's people screaming, and the horses, some of which you're probably riding. You were provided horses if you wanted them. Because, you know, it's safer to travel on horses in groups. They're starting to panic though, and getting pretty freaked out. What do you guys want? What do you guys want to do?
First, I want to name my horse Knee Socks.
How far are we from Dry Gulch at this point?
You guys are maybe a mile or two out of Dry Gulch.
Okay.
We should probably start hoofing it.
But interestingly enough, just to complicate the situation a little bit, like the gulch is sort of like at the bottom of what's sometimes a bluff and what could sometimes be better characterized as a ravine.
And you're canyon?
Yeah. And so you're like on one side of it, and it's like one of the particularly steep parts just over to your right, and the cows are running straight at you from the left.
Oh.
And you're seeing the horses get a little freaked out, not sure, like they're definitely pawing the ground and looking up and looking at those cows. The cows are just like they've got fear, they've got terror and death in their eyes, the cows, and they are heading right for you.
So I'm going to assume that my horse knows better than I do, and I'm just going to let my horse run.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna steer clear.
Yeah, Antigone, forward.
Okay, so you two
Let's go, Terry, too.
So you two are trying to wrangle your horses and like get them to like head off, like basically speed up and get out of the way of the cows.
Yeah, exactly. Or would it be? Do you think it would be faster to like stop and then turn around?
Sorry.
I think your mic just fell off.
Oh no.
Oh.
You did.
Would it be faster to like stop and turn around and go like away? Like, are we in the middle of the caravan or on one edge?
I mean, you guys are probably like let's
Let's put some real world logic into this.
I'm gonna say that you are particularly at the front of the caravan.
Oh, then I'm definitely gonna ride forward then.
Okay.
To try and get out
and
of
I
the
guess
way of
all
the
of you have been
cows.
sort of like bickering and stuff, so you're probably like front-ish in the caravan at this point.
All right,
I'm just, directly behind Terry.
I'm like every once in a while like looking back and then like noticing that you're making eye contact with me and like turning away and like trying not to pay attention as much.
Okay, so your horses are pretty willful. Are you doing anything in particular to try? Those of you who are trying to spur your horses on, are you doing anything in particular to try and like get the horses to move, or like are you just like go horse go, or do you have any?
I kick the spurs into the side a little
Very
bit.
much like to whisper gently into knee socks as you go faster. Faster, we can't let this go. Can't let these cows get us.
Okay.
I'm gonna reason with Antigone and say neither of us want to die, so let's go forward.
Okay, so in your case, like just jamming, like how hard are you jamming this horse?
Not hard, like the little toe click, like heel click
Okay.
into the sides there.
Okay, so your horse is like figuring out what's going on. Oh, I'm gonna go forward. Your
Yeah.
horses that you're talking to are like sort of like, I don't even know, but I'm gonna go over here, like where the cows are not. So the horses that are being reasoned with are going off the canyon, and your lover boy is heading forward.
So I'm trusting my horse.
Okay, great, perfect. So your horse is also just going to go off the side of the canyon away from him, or at least gonna start moving over in that direction.
So I'm trying to paint a picture here. Like,
Yeah.
so are we moving like in a straight line and the cows are coming like this way, like?
So yeah, if you guys are moving this way, the
Yeah.
cows are coming here, and the canyon is like more or less over here.
Okay, and I'm heading forward to like try and
Yeah,
scoot
you're
out
heading
of the
forward
way.
to like scoot out of the way.
Yeah.
and
So we're at head smashed in cattle jump here.
basically, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I am trying to like get him to go faster. Maybe I give a little nudge and I go like and I like do the reins thing. I'm trying to remember my horse knowledge for all my time I spent in Dry Gulch.
All right, cool.
Recognize your reference.
So
Canadian jokes.
So yeah, this is working. The horse is going a little faster. Now, unfortunately, there's all the other people in the caravan, and they're like trying to steer their horses. Some of them are talking to them as well, and not having like very good luck. And so and especially the wagon that's holding the big water tank is got like pack horses in the front, and they don't even have a rider directly. And so the cows are starting to get super close, and they're getting freaked out. So they're just going to start to bolt towards the side of the canyon. So yeah, let's. Anyone want to change what they're doing?
Is my horse going into the canyon?
Your horse is looking like it just wants to get away from the cows. Is
But
sort
like-
of like top priority.
So, but like by going over a cliff.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, the horse. Like, there's a lot of dust in the air. The horse could go over the canyon. It could figure itself out, but it looks like it might, without some guidance, not either get away from the cows or away from the canyon fast enough to.
My horse
get out
is
of the way.
being dumb. I'm gonna be like, no, this way, forward, and like maybe do like the gentle, responsible horse owner, like spurring forward without being abusive in any way.
Okay.
So spurring metaphorically.
Well, and also like the signal that you give to a horse to accelerate, but not like in a
Actual spurs.
you know.
I want to make sure that I can still see Terry's butt,
Okay.
whatever that involves. And so if he's going in one direction, I'm
Well,
probably...
because Zal knows that when I ride a horse, it's very like it's
Oh,
very
yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
Dudley Do
Oh,
right
yes,
in
it
the way
is.
that I do. Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Right up there.
Okay. So like, yeah, we've got some horses that are like moving slower. We've got one horse that is like bolting, another horse that's like kind of bolting at half speed.
I guess. Yeah. As long as I can see the
See,
riding.
yeah, through the dust cloud.
Yeah, okay, and sorry, what is Crankor's horse? What is Crankor doing with his horse again?
Well, you see, Nisox, you're making some bad decisions here, and I think it's time for me to take the reins, as it turns out to be the case more often than not. Let's just wait for these cows to catch up to us just a bit, and let's see if we can't maybe wrangle them in a proper direction that's not towards their own demise.
All right. So so Crankor is waiting for the cows to catch up a little bit more. They're getting pretty close already. So if you want to actually start like trying to wrangle the cows, now is a pretty good time to do it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a time where we start heading them off a bit.
So describe to me how you are wrangling cows.
We're going to come back, let the cows catch up a bit behind us, and then we're going to try and push them towards, I'm going to guess the left is probably the
You're
direction.
physically pushing them? Or?
No, we're just kind of, yeah, maybe we'll just give them a little kick here and there on the side.
So like riding up beside the cows sometimes and kicking them.
Like, just give them a little nudge with the old foot. There we go. Wasn't in my screen, it was in Euphemia's name. We're going to see if we can just keep moving to the side, get them just nudging in that direction away from certain doom.
Okay, so here's what's kind of going down. You were going to get away.
Yeah.
And you're going to like head forward. And the cows are not going to respond well to this.
Oh, certainly not.
Okay, so a cow is going to try and headbutt you as you like go up beside it and kick it and stuff. So
I'm going to say this is probably against wands.
Why?
Well, I mean, they got the horns.
it's just attacking you. Like this is not a saving throw. In this case, it's attacking your horse, though, so that's probably less of a bad thing. Okay, so the cow like gores the side of your horse, which now is going to kick back up in the air. Making an elephant sound for some reason.
Multilingual.
Yeah, well, it's got two parents.
Yeah, well, yeah.
An elephant and a donkey.
So yeah, why don't you make a save versus
death?
Yeah, probably.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say it's a save versus paralysis to jump off your horse and you know avoid not to avoid getting thrown off your horse.
Okay. Oh, that's not going to do well. That's a 12.
Okay, so you're gonna get thrown off the horse. You land on the ground.
That's unfortunate.
And
Cranko, no.
You land on your head. Poof, you take 5 points of damage.
Stop.
How many HP do you have?
16.
That old bell gets rung.
That is a third of his health.
5 points of damage, you
are
say?
moving in multiple directions. Yep.
Oh, we're still in the double digits. Ain't nothing.
And there's still more cows, except for now, instead of being like down sort of around you, they are a little bit above you. Now, that does have the effect of because the horse makes a bunch of noise and stuff, some of the cows get a little freaked out, and they figure out, oh, crap, there's like something here. They're not like, it's not just like a straight cliff that I can jump off. It instead is stuff that could get in the way while I try and jump off a cliff. So you've actually managed to divert a few cows, which seems to have helped out the caravan as a whole, even if not entirely. Now, the two of you are moving a little bit more slowly. And so you are going to get to a point where your horses are going to start trying to get away from you and go wherever they go because they're panicking. Yeah, let's just do that. The horses are going to panic, and so your horse is going to run straight ahead.
Okay.
Which is probably the best way for the horse to go.
Can I just whisper some like, no, visualize yourself in a calm space, deep breathing.
Your horse is going like mostly directly ahead, but also toward the canyon. So your horse is gonna like skid off to the side, and like it's like right on the edge. Like it realizes kind of like oh, and your horse is trying to keep its balance, but you're kind of not sure if the horse is gonna stay.
How close are the cattle at this point?
The cattle are, thanks to the antics that have happened over here, the cattle are sort of like partially trying to disperse, but there's still like quite a few of them around, and actually some of them are starting to go over the side.
No.
So one of the ones that's dispersed, that is no longer going toward the cliff,
Yeah.
I want to lasso it. I have a lot of rope,
Okay.
and so if my horse goes, I want to have a grip.
Okay. Sure.
So
Am I out of the like range of the, or like I'm not gonna get hit?
Yeah,
anymore?
it seems like you're basically you've basically cleared it.
Can I like turn around to just see? Like I want to watch this going on.
Sure. Actually,
Very like slow motion kind of thing.
Remind me, because I have some information for you that
Yeah.
you're going to see when you watch it. So yeah, why don't you like make me make an attack to try and like lasso this cow?
well, I rolled a 9.
Okay. So you have a +1 to hit by default, and then
Okay.
if you've got dex of 13 or higher, you've got another +1 on
I
it.
do indeed have a dex of 12.
Okay. So that'll give you 11, which is definitely enough to lasso a cow.
Awesome.
Okay, so
All right.
you got the cow,
Right.
and the cow is like, it's like confused. It's not sure what to do. It was already kind of panicking, but so this could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Well, I'm hoping that the connection is going to slow down both animals.
Right. Okay, that's a good thing to hope for.
Yeah.
So over here, Terry, you're like watching this
Yeah.
whole thing play out. Maybe you had some popcorn around and just like take a little
I'm
bit,
just like,
have a
oh,
little bit.
damn.
Okay, so below in the canyon, there's a couple of cows, and it looks like the water carriage has mostly been saved at this point, which is great. But yeah, definitely some cows and a couple horses and some civilians are falling off the side. And so
Civilians.
yeah, one or two.
Whoops.
This is gonna make our job a lot easier.
Oh, that's true.
When they're all around top like that?
Down below, there you see some shapes. It's kind of hard to make out, but it looks like maybe some halflings or something down there coming out of a cave at the bottom of the canyon, and they are like looking up, and they're then looking down at this dead cow that's landed in front of them, and looking up again, and then like making this like praise dance. They look like they're pretty happy that cows are falling from the sky and landing.
beef.
I'm gonna
landing
go
in
to the
in front of their
edge
cave.
of the canyon,
Yeah.
or like on the edge, and get off my horse.
Yeah.
And then call down to them.
Yeah.
Enjoy this bountiful feast gifted to you by Terry Goodstuff. When you think someday, damn, I wish I sure had a meal on my table, pray to me. Pray to Terry Goodstuff. And also, bury your loved ones not too deep in the ground. That is my first commandment.
That's why people are always calling out, give me the good stuff.
Okay.
Because you bring it.
Okay, so now Crankor, you're on the ground. What are you doing? What are you doing at this point? Having just been thrown onto the ground and dazed, there are a lot of moving hooves nearby you.
It's most important to get standing up and
Okay.
face directly into the eyes of those cows that are coming at me. Let them know I mean business, and I am not moving for no bovine, tell you what.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the cows are definitely going to trample you.
So to review, this is the system of D&D where we're invincible and we're basically gods.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I just want to seem like a post that is not going to be hit. I am an obstacle to be avoided.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna get there's definitely some trampling that's gonna happen. So the cows are gonna deal about 9 more points of damage to you before they start calming down.
That's unfortunate.
But you know, you definitely like you managed to last as a solid statue and hold your ground until the cows.
Come home.
Lose interest in trampling you to death.
Hey, there's that.
Man, this isn't even fun. He doesn't. Moo, this isn't even fun. He doesn't even get out of the way.
You're like,
He's just
well, it's
taking
like you're
it.
standing up and you get a hoof in the shoulder, and then you're standing up again and you get a hoof in the head, and you're standing up again and you get a horn goring your middle, and then like finally you're like, okay, I think the cows have stopped. All right, cool. And then you try and stare down a cow, and the cow is like looking at you confused, like.
I don't even want to do this anymore.
Working as intended.
Can I be a cow for a second?
Yeah.
That was the worst salt lick ever. Blech.
All right.
I didn't know that they could form PCP into large bricks that could be licked.
What I need. Okay, so you are after some like scariness. You're more or less out of the woods. Okay, so for you, the cow that you lassoed is.
Was it the Kathleen cow?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, whoa there.
I was gonna say the cow had calmed down, but I
Whoa! I've been lassoed though. Like I feel like my basic rights as a cow are being a little violated.
if you were a
This
ranch,
cow's also part of the bureaucracy.
I'm a free range cow, and I'm not feeling very free. Whoa!
all right. Well, that is going to stabilize your horse enough
Okay.
that you're going to be able to not fall off the edge, nor is your horse going to fall off the edge, which is also like a serious possibility.
Excellent. And then once we're slowed down, I'll free the cow, get my rope back,
Yeah. All right. So
make sure that, Terry was watching.
I was watching, but at the same time, I was also trying to like form a religion over here by the cliff face.
Can I say that because I got my horse calmed down and stuff like that, can I trot over to where Terry is standing over by the cliff face, and can I bop him lightly with my holy symbol, my staff with the holy symbol of Winnie over the top, and be like, "Stop blaspheming!
you can absolutely do that.
Stop blaspheming!"
Ow!
Okay, so the sort of like
12 points
small
of damage.
group of goblins that's arranged themselves around like the bottom of the canyon are like they're like looking up and looking for more cows. Some of the goblins are like just grabbing the existing cow and cutting it into pieces and like hauling it back into their cave. At some point. A bigger look, and the goblins are having trouble seeing. Like they don't see super well during the daytime, so they're like many of them are like they're straining to see up. That you look
I just like a silhouette.
Yeah, exactly.
It's shining against the sun. Yeah.
exactly like with the sun perfectly haloed around you.
Yeah.
Very religiously persuasive.
Yes.
And
Should I be kneeling before you?
I mean, we'll talk about that later. My pants will not remain on for this campaign, will they?
the so yeah, the small like group of goblins has sort of assembled, and then like the other god shows up and whacks you on the head, and that's like, and like those goblins start like throwing rocks at you.
At who?
At you.
Yeah.
Whack their god on the head. That's
Yeah.
not very nice.
Stone the pretender.
They're also like 30 feet below you, so like the rocks are not going to get anywhere close to you. It's like they're little goblin specks on the ground at this point.
Can I yell, "File a grievance"?
Yeah.
In your religious text, be sure to note down that this is my evil nemesis, bureaucracy lady, and don't listen to anything. Also, don't form a union just to really stick it to her. This is the decree of Terry Goodstuff.
Terry, I'm gonna kick you over the cliff.
So it looks like there's one of the goblins in particular, because goblins have a 20% chance of actually speaking your language. There's one of the goblins in particular who seems to become the interpreter and is becoming sort of the
He's the Noah of,
yeah,
of the goblins.
Exactly. It's actually like giving
javelin.
giving the other goblins your Moses, I think.
Moses, this guy meant. Yep.
Yeah, it's actually giving the other goblins your message in some interpretation. Like he might be a little shaky on the common, but yeah.
Perfect.
But like most of the goblins, and they start to trail off, and actually there's going to be like eventually, if you wait long enough, like a goblin that's like wearing some like burlier armor and whatnot is going to come out and start like getting really angry at the little goblins and like whipping them into shape and like pointing up at you and then making aggressive motions.
Yeah. Well, you want to come up here? Climb up the wall then.
And he's just going to try and wrangle his other goblins back inside their cave.
Yeah, that's right. You run in your cave. You looks like you missed leg day.
Did you? I mean, the legs mostly seem to be gone because that's the easiest thing to take off a cow when it's. Did you make sure to let them know to use all the parts?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell them to eat a hoof.
That's what glue is for.
I don't know how often goblins use glue, Crankor.
forgot.
Also, what the hell happened to you? You look like crap.
I saved us.
I mean, cows aren't falling off anymore. I'm glad you're okay, but also, do you know you've got like a horn sticking out of the side of you?
I always look on the positive side. I now have a horn that I did not have before.
Can we sell the
I want to
horn
make
for
sure
money?
the water
God, I hope
is
so.
okay, and we're getting the water back to
The
town.
water seems to have stabilized. There's people who are a little bit upset because their friends fell off the box canyon and are being dragged into a goblin cave. But, you know, they also fell 30 feet, so that'll basically kill any normal person.
Yeah, don't worry. I pat one on the back and say, don't worry. They were dead when they hit the bottom, so they're not captive.
All right, well, someone can enact that character if they choose, but I don't assume that they're going to.
Oh, my Uncle Sturko! No!
Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's better to be dead than to have to convert to a brand new religion.
Plus, at about that height, they probably didn't feel anything when they got swished into a pulp on impact.
I mean, when you live in Black Gulch, you don't really feel anything to begin with.
There you go.
Exactly.
Stay dead inside. That's like the motto of the town.
Oh, Sturko!
Does anyone else want to do?
But I can't argue with you.
Want to do anything? I feel like the scene is gonna close up at this point with you guys continuing to head back to Dry Gulch.
I mean, I'm just making sure that the people who
Yeah.
are up here and no one else has been trampled, or you know, if there are things we could help with, we'll help with them.
There's
Yeah.
definitely people who've been gored if you want to use some of your precious healing spells on them.
Or we could pat them on the head and tell them they're there.
Give them a butt tap.
You could absolutely do that
Tara,
as well.
what's the over-under if I take this horn out that it's going to be able to hold all the blood that comes out as well?
I don't have a lot of medical experience, but I know a lot about wine barrels, and if they've got a hole in it and you take the cork out, a lot of stuff comes out.
Best
So
leave
maybe just keep that horn in your side.
Best leave this in for the moment.
The cattle seem to have come from Carl Fredfurter's ranch. For any of you who care about that,
I kind of care.
okay, that's and they're all just sort of like arrayed around. Like they're not. No one's come to get them. They're just kind of hanging out near the canyon.
Interesting. Is there any way of determining whose cows these are? Like, do they
Carl
have brands?
Fredfurter's.
They have brands. They're Carl Fredfurter
Oh,
cows.
Literally
Oh.
branded with the entire name Carl Fred
I feel
Furter.
like
It's like a very painful branding
Holy
process.
moly.
Is he a fat cat? He owns a cattle ranch.
Does own
That's
a
got the
cattle
word
ranch.
cat in it. Cows
I
are
might.
rotund.
I don't know. You tell me. Has Carl Fredfurter been around here for a while, or did he move in? From
I feel
Peter
like
Hawk City?
Carl Fredfurter has been around here for
I think
a
the
while.
Fredfurter family is an old family that has really taken advantage of the citizens of Prosperous Gulch.
They do shoddy business practices because, like, it's just cheaper, really, to do it.
I bet their cows got out because their fence sucked. And their fence sucked because they didn't hire good workers to do it or pay for the materials. Let's go to Carl's
Probably
house and
weren't
laugh
up
at
to
him.
code.
Oh, that wasn't up to code. Absolutely not. Let's go to his house and laugh at him.
Yeah, he got a bunch of people killed. I mean, he
Yeah.
also helped me start a religion, but that's side thing. I want recompense for him beating the crap out of my friend.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and also like maybe like someone should come get these cows and like pay Luflelia, whose Uncle Storko went over the edge.
Yeah.
I mean, I do need, now that I do know who owns it, I really should give this horn back. It did not come from the earth, and therefore it is not mine.
So, are you heading back to Dry Gulch with the caravan? Or are you going to Carl's, or like what do you want to do?
I
Let's
feel
go
like we wanna go to
investigate. Let's go to Carl's house. I feel like there's several people in charge of the town, but nobody is more competent than I.
I mean, we've all got a reason
I
to go.
can issue him a violation ticket. Is what I can do.
You got fines to levy.
Yeah.
I got some horn to give back. You just want to make sure that
Actually, you guys can totally split the party at this point if you want. Some of you can go one place, and some of you can go another, if you so choose.
I mean, I guess there's not a huge reason for me to go. Like, I do want to make sure you're okay. But I could also, like, I'll go put all of our tools and stuff in our tool shed.
Yeah, take care of the tools.
so
So,
you're-
Euphemia,
I'm gonna go to Dry Gulch.
Okay, you go to Dry Gulch. What are you up to?
I'm going to
Carl's.
Carl's place.
We're going to have a conversation first before we figure that out.
Yeah.
So, when I was on jury duty in Pewter City, things went very badly for the people around me. but after the deputy died, I took his badge and I thought maybe it would be useful for something. So I don't know if we have a use for a deputy badge, but if we want to be the law when we're back in Dry Gulch, and really clean up the town in a metaphorical way as well as a literal way, I don't know how to fill in the forms for turning the deputy badge into actual authority. Can you help with that?
Absolutely. What a great plan.
All right.
All right.
So I
Do you
guess
want to practice being a deputy right now, though? So, like, when we get back to Dry Gulch, it's like more convincing that you are with your newly deputized powers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let's go tell Carl Fredferger that he's a jerk.
okay, let's do that.
Before I leave,
Yeah.
can I just like look over at Val and go,
I'm glad you're okay. We'll talk about dinner. Enjoy your adventure.
I go beat red and I go, Terry too, let's go.
Okay.
Fly away.
So I'm gonna sort of speed past this. The three of you are the only ones going to Carl's ranch. You travel overland there. You get there. Everyone's dead. All the ranch hands are dead. There are some cows there who are dead. They're all dead. They are dried out. They are like completely bereft of all moisture in their bodies. They're basically flaking, and they're just
Some sort of moisture vampire
like
attack?
some sort of moisture vampire.
Tarnation, these
They're-
jerks done become jerky.
I bet it was the fat cats who are
Our water's not good enough for them. Our minds, now they need our precious fluids.
right.
They drive
So-
us nuts and they just keep sucking.
Is Carl among the dead, or is he the chief vampire?
Carl's among the dead.
Oh,
Then that does rule him out as vampire material.
Maybe his grandfather was a vampire and has now come back. Maybe his grandfather was being kept dormant by all the water. This is going to take some work.
All right.
I'm gonna write a citation ticket and leave it on the corpse.
Nice. And with that, I'm going to draw this scene to a close.
Okay.
So we're going to enter our first player-generated scene.
Ooh.
Okay.
So Dale, I'm going to have you do the first one of these.
All right.
So basically, anything that you want to define, I'll give you the standard choice. So you can define a scene. You can say who is there, what they're trying to accomplish, what the setting is, etc. And everyone else at the table will decide at the end of that scene whether it goes well for you or whether it goes badly for you.
All right. Can I ask you questions before
Yeah.
I set the scene?
Yeah. Or you can be the person who makes that choice, and everyone else will decide on the scene for you.
All right. So I'm going to define the scene.
Okay.
Do you have a timeline? Can I set my scene like several days later, or are you wanting to keep things?
You can set the scene several days later. Just keep in mind that you've got very limited money. So I don't know how your characters are making a living for the
We
next,
have
for the
jobs.
next. Oh yeah, you've got jobs. Yeah, okay,
Right.
that's fine. Yeah, you can set it however long later that you want to.
Just also, if it's several days later, can I assume I've taken a long rest?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But long rests don't do the same thing. You get back one hit point per day.
That's good.
How many days are we? Are we exactly 14 days later, Dale?
So my scene is exactly 4 days later.
Good enough.
And we've been using the deputy badge, and people have been learning that maybe they should come to us when they have problems because we don't automatically just take all their stuff. So we have had someone come to us and say that there was a disturbance at their family grave in the graveyard. And we don't know what the disturbance is, but I'm very excited because I want to find this Fredferger ancestral vampire crypt.
Oh, perfect.
So I say it's the evening, it's before the miners are heading into the mine, and we're heading to the graveyard to investigate the disturbance.
that
How's
sounds great.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not saying what you two are up to.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna be actually trying to stay out of these scenes as much as possible, and let you guys do what you want to. If you want to bring your characters in, if you want to bring other characters in, we're gonna try and do this as fiasco style as possible. One thing that I will point out is that we are running a little long for like what I had sort of thought, but that's probably to be expected. But yeah, just be aware of that.
These short.
Keep these scenes fairly short. I don't know. Like they'll probably be most of the session. Keep doing what you want to do. But yeah, when the scene seems like it's coming to a natural stopping point, someone say, "Okay, we're going to stop it there," and then we'll figure out how it ends.
Okay.
Okay. So Serendipity Silverfish Sarsaparilla is one of the local halflings, and she came and she gave us directions, and so we're checking out the grave plot, her family plot, and I think we've come up, and it's clearly been dug up.
Wow, there is once a grave here, but now no longer.
So, what do we do? Do we write up paperwork about the groundskeeping, or what are the laws about this? Like, clearly somebody should do something about. Oh, I hear something.
Can I offer you, gentlemen and ladies, any assistance?
Ah.
Crankor.
Yes.
Or is this the person who minds the graveyard?
Well, yes, indeed. I am
Golgotha!
Crankor Golgotha.
Golgotha.
It's a common name. I've never learned not to respond to it. But yes, Crankor Golgotha, graveyard attendant at your service.
So I'm trying to figure out if I know you, and then I think I just sort of get distracted. So, excuse me, Mr. Golgotha, we are deputized to take care of crimes. And there are crimes that have been committed, such as the disturbance of the dirt, also possibly a vampire. Can you please show me where the Fredfurter vampire crypt is?
I can show you to the Fredfurter crypt itself. I can't speak to any vampires. That's
Well, you don't have to. We'll speak to them.
ludicrous. But yes, the Frankfurter crypt is.
Oh, not the Frankfurter, the Fredfurter.
Oh, the Fredfurter crypt.
Yes.
Oh yes, you literally can't miss that. It's like right in the middle of the pathway down the middle.
Oh, excellent.
All roads lead to the Fredfurter crypt.
Hooray!
Thank you.
All one road?
Well, yes, I mean, the rest of it's kind of pathways. We do try to keep the garbage to a minimum. And the pathway of literal brick inlaid with literal gold, they're just quite the sight. Anyway, it's just that way.
Can I borrow your hat?
I would prefer to keep my hat, but if you must, it is very large.
Oh, that is large. All right. Because now, if there's a vampire in there, he'll think I'm a groundskeeper. So you should take the deputy badge.
Perfect. Chunk. This is an ostentatious pathway, perhaps indicative of something greater than crimes against good taste. To the crypt.
To the crypt.
This way, please.
So we get there. Is the crypt? This crypt is incredibly sealed.
Well, yes. I mean, the dead are notoriously lag about. So let's open it up here. The one lock, two locks, and open. Oh!
Hey, why close the door?
This is highly irregular.
Listen, I come here in the middle of the day to think and write my poems.
Yo. Master Fredfurter, you know that you're not allowed inside unless you are dead.
Ugh, I feel like I'm dead.
Feeling and actually being are not the same thing. We have to obey the rules here in the graveyard.
Who are these two?
Visitors. They've come to see your family crypt. Why don't you show them around? Introduce them to some of your more interesting brethren.
All right.
So we have questions for your vampire grandfather.
My father wasn't a vampire.
Right. His father.
He was definitely a vampire.
Right. That's the one we want to ask questions of.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Fine, follow me. Just take off your shoes.
How about if I take off my hat as a compromise?
They're like the same thing to me. Fine.
Thank you for the loan of your hat.
Thank you. It's very, very
Now
nice.
they'll know that you're not a groundskeeper.
Well, I didn't fool him.
Oh, that's fair.
All right, come on. I lead them inside the crypt. I guess it's a mausoleum now.
Oh, so many dead Fred Fergers down here.
Here's my Uncle Tony and David and Euphemia.
Very, very common
Good name.
names all.
Yeah, Crankor the 1st through the 17th.
Shall I take the stake out that we can have a conversation?
Yes, here's my grandfather. I think is what we were at. My grandfather.
Your
What's your name, just for my...
One moment, we do need to reanimate him. It is a little bit of a...
I
It is a
need
bit
to-
of a thing.
I need to transfer my soul into him. All right.
Get
and
on 3, 1.
1, 2, 3. All right, just a moment. What do you want?
We have some questions for your vampire brethren.
I've been sleeping for 10,000 years, and this is what you wake me up for?
That is a very interesting number, given that we were just talking to your grandson. So, during those 10,000 years, did you get up for, like, potty breaks or anything, or have you just slept solid for 10,000 years?
Did you seriously pull a stake out of my heart and transfer my grandson's soul into me to ask me how often I take a piss?
Uh-huh.
Once people do end up here, we do ask that they do stay on the ground.
Well, I mean, lots of people ask for lots of things.
Yeah, but sometimes when you are well healed and you've got a lot of money, such as you can build a golden pathway to your immense mausoleum with like 45 people stashed under the ground, sometimes money will buy you little favors. But something happened at Carl Fred Ferger's ranch, and all of the people and many of the cows there had all of their precious fluids sucked out, and I think you're to blame!
Ah, blasphemy, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
Is that what...
And the
what-
investigation
but
comes to a close.
You can't be a vegetarian, you have a stake in your heart.
That's a... Ah, damn! You discovered my weakness! Puns that are true to life! Blast! Yes, I sucked all the cows dry of their blood. What are you going to do about it?
I'm issuing you a fine!
How much is the fine?
19 silver pieces.
I don't have that kind of money!
You're dead.
Melt down some bricks from your mausoleum here.
Can I take a brick out of the wall?
Sure.
Sure, she takes a brick
You're
out
a
of the wall.
vampire. You've got like, I don't know, 1,000,000 strength or something.
Yeah, sure, and I hand it to... Alright, can I go back to bed now?
Yes, thank you for your cooperation, sir.
Alright, put the thingy back in the thingy.
If you would kindly
Yes,
excuse
all right.
us. All right, here we go.
I feel like that scene.
Yeah, I feel like that's the scene.
Was that okay? Was I allowed to play them in character?
Sure, why not?
That's the idea.
Alright, cool.
So yeah, you know that the great ancient Fred Ferger has said that he sucked a bunch of cow's blood. Great.
We're good at this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mystery solving crew right in here.
The Scooby Gang.
It's just two.
Okay, so the next scene that I had planned is going to take place at, so, sorry, I should have printed this out, but I did not, and so it is on my computer, so we have to wait for my computer to wake up from sleep. So,
The scene wasn't that long.
no, that was a pretty short scene.
It was quick. Open and close.
Just like your tomb.
Yes.
So the next scene is Clan Hammerspur. That's the dwarven clan that used to run the mine. Still ostensibly runs the mine, but it's kind of like a skeleton operation because there's no gold left in the mine. So
Did
sort
they
of like-
hire some skeletons just to like...
not that you're aware of, but I mean, again, this could be another thing to investigate at some, like, find all the undead, you gotta find the vampires, and then you find the skeletons, and you keep on going down the ladder. But I guess the crawling claws would be the next thing. The Clan Hammerspur has been, they got the contract to basically sell out the town's water supply, right? They were the ones they're the dwarves who put the dam together that has diverted the water away from the town. And so that brought in a lot of money for them. Like they also have the big sweet contract to maintain the dam. And so what do you do when your dwarven clan has like all this money but throw like really elaborate parties? So they have this big party at the Clan Hammersburg Guild Hall. They have like tons of alcohol of every kind you can imagine, lots of like sweet mezcal margaritas and mint juleps and other such things that you would drink in a hot, dry environment. They have gone so far as to they actually like hollowed out some ground out front and paved it because they're dwarves and they can do that kind of thing really easily. They hollowed out some ground and they put a swimming pool in there, which they just filled with water, which they brought in from Pewterhawk City.
Seems awfully wasteful.
And so there's people just bathing in the water. Oh, I did it again. I ripped the...
See if you can get maybe the center of the shirt there too, so it doesn't flap around.
Good idea. All right, we're there. We're people bathing in the water and eating the delicious food, drinking the delicious alcohol. And,
All very decadent.
And piano players tickling the ivories, and cabaret dancers dancing around on a stage, and all the things that you would expect from a highfalutin party.
So where's this party at? I'm sorry.
So the guild hall is like a little ways out of town, but it's not like it's maybe a 30-minute walk out of the outskirts of town.
So what's the relationship between the clan and the guild? Are all guild members part of the clan?
Yeah, it's like again, it's the D&D race as class as everything thing. So it's like, yeah, the dwarves are a clan or they're a guild. They have like I guess it's a clan hall, not a guild hall.
All
but
right.
they're it's like a dwarf. It's like Thorin and companies. I guess they all split up after Lord of the Rings. But
Like you're born into the family business.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
And you end it's a big extended family, but then they get the contract to do construction projects and things like that.
So my next question is, who has the authority to sign this permit to burn down the guild hall that I've filled in? Because I've got my oil and I've got my flint and steel, but my supervisor won't let me burn down the clan hall unless the permit is authorized.
Okay, so there's going to be two problems with that. One of them is that you would probably need someone in Pewterhawk City to sign off on that. At least, if not like just the local bureaucracy, like the mayor or someone.
Well, the mayor already said no, but I've already made the sign that says "Eat the rich," so I'm keen.
Okay, the second issue is that the clan's hall is made of stone, and so it's not going to burn super well.
I don't understand. I got kerosene.
Okay, well that's good. So that will probably be helpful.
Okay,
so I'm assuming from that at least you are at this party. And maybe you are with the sign that says "Eat the Rich."
Well, the sign is folded up because I'm on a stealthy mission to immolate something that's maybe a little bit more catching than the outside stone. I thought ahead. Let's find some wads of cash and then light those on fire.
Oh, I love it.
Very burnable.
Okay.
Wait, this is D&D. There's no paper money.
I mean, like there's
What about stock certificates, bonds?
Yeah, those totally exist.
Let's light those on fire.
Orcish bearer bonds.
Yeah.
All right.
So the two of you at least are there, looking to start some trouble.
I'm there because that's where the loan shark that I owe all this money to. He's a major part, I would say, of this. So I'm at this party, probably in a back room, trying to make amends for how much money I owe.
Okay.
Son, I don't understand why they keep inviting me to these parties, despite the fact that I left the guild years ago, due to them all just constructing things on top of the ground instead of being in it where they belong.
Crankor, so good to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the clan, Crankor.
Oh, Jonky, I am very pleased as always to be here.
Oh, it is so good to see you. I am glad you've decided to mend your ways and come back to a good, honest living of constructing things above the ground.
As I've told you before, I will give it some thought.
There
and we
is
can-
nothing better, Krenkor, than building a nice tall structure out of limestone pulled from the ground, placing it on top of the ground and living inside of it.
Son, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, I will continue to provide you. with
Krenkor, your skills will be so appreciated.
Jesus
Do
Christ,
enjoy
I
your
wish
time
you
at the
existed.
party, swimming within the pool and rubbing the water upon your skin.
Krenkor, I've overheard this. Krenkor, you used to live around here?
I used to be a part of this guild back when I was working the mines, you see.
So you know the inner layout of the guild hall.
Like the back of my hand. In fact, it's tattooed there when you join. It's a very complicated place. I mean,
So you might happen to know where they keep flammable or inflammable materials, depending on your definition of the word, or perhaps piles of laundry, or just explosive barrels.
well, generally the flammable materials, you'll then find them in the kitchen. The inflammable materials, they but then, as their name suggests, be in the fire, probably cooking. You might want to start there. And if you find the fire, well, maybe follow the pipe that it comes out of to its source.
So I'm poking around. There are some back rooms. I'm looking in some back rooms to see if there's anything that's going to be of interest to me. And I understand that you might be in one of those back rooms.
I am, yeah. I am. So I'm in a back room, and there's a couple of dwarves in there. One of which is sitting on like a nice, like lush chair, and I'm trying to beg him to give me some more time to pay him back because I owe him like a lot of money. Like
Why should they give you more time? Why
I've
should
been-
they give you more time?
Listen. I've been trying my best to come up with the money, but you know, grave robbing isn't just paying what it used to. People don't bury their loved ones with a whole lot of sellable stuff anymore.
That doesn't sound like a Guido Stonecutter problem, does it now? That sounds like a whatever your name is, Terry problem.
Listen.
So what you know what your problem is? Compound interest.
I will get it. Excuse me, this is a private meeting.
I'm sorry to interrupt the meeting.
You see that I'm like all bruised up and stuff like that on the ground.
I'm here. I need Terry sexy stuff. Good stuff. Can I borrow him for a minute?
Are you an associate of Terry Sexy Stuff?
No, but I still need him. Is that okay?
Not at this time. You can come back at a later time.
It sounds like perhaps you have some people who care deeply about you. Wouldn't that be a shame for them if your debts were not able to be paid?
You leave Zal out of this!
I'll leave Zal out of this when you give me the 68 gold pieces you owe me with compound interest.
Yes.
Hello, you told me I could come back at a later time for Terry, so I'm back for Terry. I see him there.
Zal, get out of here.
Zal! Zal, are you an associate of Terry's? Please, come on in. Come on in.
No, get out of here, Zal.
Are you sure you want this one in here, boss?
Oh, I think Terry will find him exceptionally motivating.
So, I'm not an associate, but I could be. Can we be associates?
Zal, now is super not the time to flirt with me. I'm not gonna lie. On a spectrum of shitty times to try and get in someone's pants, this is way up there.
I'm just gonna put this in the fire, boss.
I really liked it when you put your hand and you did this.
Listen, Don, I will get you the money by the end of the week. I promise. Just leave Zal out of this.
That would just be so many in another string of broken promises to me. How many times have you promised that you would get me the money, and I have been so good?
I'm just gonna take him for a minute. So I come over and try to lift Terry up.
Okay.
No,
Thank
hold
you
on.
for your time and your hospitality.
He said to put the man down.
Did he? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. You mean Terry?
Yes!
Oh.
What other man are you carrying?
Well, I'm only carrying Terry.
Okay, so I've got this flaming sword.
Oh.
The enforcer is gonna like put up to like underneath your. Oh, I did it again. He's gonna put up underneath your neck. Put the man down.
So I dropped him.
Ow!
Zal, you seem like a wise man.
I'm confused.
And possibly a very horny man, but I'm not here to judge.
I just need to borrow.
Your friend Terry has done a very, very silly thing, and he owes me a great deal of money. But it seems like that you, being a wise and competent person who would never come up with any sort of harebrained scheme whatsoever, can help him get some money to me by the end of the week. And for my generosity of extending the terms of the deal once again, a mere 75 gold pieces is what you owe me.
That's 7 more than it was before, I think.
Very generous, aren't I? To only increase it by 7 for this problem. Look, you've made Lerp here hold that pose for like five minutes, and it's very hard on the triceps.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to trade? I could hold that and you could put your hands up.
Both of you out! Both of you out!
Oh, okay. Let's go, Lerp.
Lerp, please.
Me and the dog just sort of look at each other like, oh my god.
Oh, it's really hard to find good help these days. Get out of here, Terry!
Okay, thank you, Don.
I am very merciful.
Okay, so you come back outside after this whole incident has taken place. There are continually dwarves coming up to you, congratulating you on coming back to the clan. They're so happy to have you here. You've been noticing something odd though, and you just kind of put your finger on it, like as these folks are coming out. Mm-hmm. There weren't cactuses in the bottom of the swimming pool before, but now there are. They've been like sort of growing over time, so maybe you like kind of didn't notice them, but now there's just a bunch of cactuses at the bottom of the swimming pool. Maybe 8 cactuses growing there.
Before like 20 minutes ago, or before like 6 months ago?
Like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
Like in the last maybe hour.
Oh.
They've gone from being like little cactuses to like those like big, stereotypical
like barrel cactuses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Those ones.
Tiny ones.
And they're like poking out of the top of the water, which is like easier because the water seems to be like disappearing as well.
Are there people still in the pool?
Yeah, there's people still in the pool. They're like, they seem to think that the cactus are props, but people are really drunk right now too. So like like they're kind of avoiding the cactuses and whatnot.
Zal.
Yeah.
Zal.
Did you find any papers?
No, but
I'm
I found,
with you guys, I guess, too.
I found from the kitchen, there's like a whole central heating system to heat this whole thing. So if we can find the central furnace, jam your kerosene in there, I think it's like a big like fire show. And I think maybe we could immolate people from the inside. The only problem is I don't know how we get out without also being caught in that.
Hey, did you say fire show, guys? There's gonna be fireworks! And that person wanders off.
But I have, however, rigged up a banner from the upper balcony that when we pull the string, it will say socialism now with like a fist.
Do my eyes deceive? Do my ears deceive me? Why do I hear someone straight flaunting over there?
Crankor, how's it going?
It's
Hey, buddy.
What are you doing here?
Nothing.
Hey,
So
I hear
far.
they throw good parties.
They do indeed.
Crankor, if somebody wanted to do some sort of like explosive fire thing with the whole furnace heating network, is there a way to do that and not also be burned alive before you have a chance to trigger your Socialism Now banner asking for a friend?
I ain't never done nothing like that in my life, and my life still exists, so I think I'm gonna keep it that way. But you do you.
Listen, I've got a lot of beef with dwarves, but what do you guys have the problem with?
Well, I have
The
another
whole
question.
socioeconomic system!
So my question for Crankor is there like a dark closet nearby where people could go for, say, 20 minutes and not be interrupted, asking for a friend?
We're dwarves. Open a door. You'll find one. It's literally what we do. We create tiny holes of darkness to be in for a while, and then get rich, and then get out and party. We're at the partying stage right now, which means all of them holes are going to be empty.
So I'm going to be busy for a little while. Could you please take this big keg of kerosene and put it into the central heating system?
Like I said, I continue to wish to be alive. Now, I would like to
Do you
drink.
have any
Thank you.
stupid relatives?
Again, I would.
Drinks.
Yeah.
I'll take a drink. I think I'm gonna really need it.
Cast your eyes around thee and you'll see. What I don't get, though, is this pool that they've got. First off, it's a pool, which is strange in itself.
I mean, it really justifies the Socialism Now banner I've got rigged up upstairs.
It's,
But who puts cactuses in a pool? That seems really stupid.
well, that seems very stupid. Also,
Hey, it could be a dwarf cultural thing, so let's be a
mean,
little
he's
bit
a
sensitive.
dwarf.
well, no, it ain't no dwarf thing because first off, pool, weird. Second of all, I think they're better at building things to keep the water inside than they are with the whole damn thing. It's not my thing.
Partially being disproven by the fact that the water is now maybe like 2 feet deep.
Which is my point exactly. Thank you, son. The water has been steadily going down as these cactuses have showed up, and I am just hornswoggled as to what might be causing that.
Well, I think maybe the most important thing would be trying to get the dwarves out.
Or
You certainly care about dwarves a lot more than you did a few minutes ago. But I'll put that beside us.
Yeah, my bad for enjoying your cultural heritage, Crankor.
I hate these people so much.
well, then help me immolate them.
To be fair, I wouldn't mind helping you out with that. I have a little bit of a debt situation going on here.
So, the problem is escape? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes.
So, why don't we take this in steps? Step 1 is we put the kerosene into the furnace, and step 2 is we escape. I know how to do step 1.
I know how to do step 2.
I can wait outside.
How about you pull the string for the banner? That's a very important part.
Is it?
Yes.
What if I don't necessarily believe in socialism?
You're helping?
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
It's best not to go against you for me if you want to get anything done. in this
I'll issue
world.
you a nasty permit.
So, I go to the furnace.
Yeah.
I'm looking around for like fire exits, or like what's my fastest route out after I throw the barrel into the furnace.
Right. Okay, so this is like a dwarven complex. So there's like some air shafts that go like directly up.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like exits, there's like one like big hall at the front. But they didn't really have like fire exits built in, sort of in mind when this stuff was all built. So
Okay.
you're basically gonna have to like go toss it in the furnace, and then run back up through the kitchen, out into the main hall, and then back out the front door.
So what? I have quite a lot of rope. What if? Oh, sorry.
I think I've got the same suggestion as you do.
Okay.
Well, go for it.
So we have someone stationed at the top, holding the rope, and I go straight up the air vent. I'm climbing, they're pulling.
Oh, I see. Mission Impossible style.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, why don't we just like tie a big barrel, like why don't we tie some rope around the kerosene and just like put a candle underneath it, and then when the candle burns through the rope, the barrel drops into the furnace, and that gives you, some time to walk away.
That is not an option my character would ever come up with,
Oh.
but he would happily take your suggestion.
Oh, I think that one's safer.
All right. Is what you're gonna do? You're gonna lower the. So how much rope do you
You're
have?
okay with us killing all your people?
50 feet.
We parted ways many years ago. I'm just here for
So-
the food and drink.
So you're gonna lower the rope down the thing, and then tie the barrel on at the end, because the barrel's
Yeah.
probably not gonna fit down the air vent.
No.
And then you're gonna rig up a candle, like you're gonna to sort of slowly burn through the rope.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like
so
one
this-
of them Edgar Allan Poe torture
the first-
devices,
the
but
first-
for explosions.
The first step here is that someone's going to need to climb up onto the roof of the clan hall.
You can trigger the banner when you're up
so
there.
you're the one going down there?
I think we're still in the chatting phase.
Yeah, we're
If only one of us
I
was
can be the rope guy and I can lift you out.
able to climb sheer surfaces.
Oh!
I guess I'll be the explosive guy. I offer begrudgingly. I'm really good at climbing sheer surfaces.
Oh, I remember the water tower.
Yep. All those dates we had while we were mountain climbing. The good time. I mean, they were a long time ago.
Okay, so you're climbing up on the top of the guild hall, and now the plan is just to, what, pour the kerosene down the air shaft?
I still like the timer idea.
Okay.
So.
Ideally, all the evidence is destroyed in the blast.
Right. So once you get up there, you would set it up. You would put the candle under the rope, and then you would climb down, and be well away. Because I mean, I care about getting my revenge on the Fat Cats, but honestly, there are other things I care about more. So I want you to be safe.
Okay.
So we've got the kerosene in the furnace room, because that's where I was looking at stuff. And so if you lower the rope, I will tie the barrel around it, and then we'll suspend it above the furnace.
Right.
You tie off the rope up top and put a candle that's going to burn through the rope.
Okay.
And then you and I go to make out point while the candle is burning through the rope, so that it can then fall into the furnace.
And then triumphantly, at the perfect moment, I trigger the banner that unfurls as huge flumes of fire come out of all the windows, and people are like, "Damn, what a compelling argument for a new socioeconomic system."
Okay, so, all right, so you're going around back with a rope and climbing up the side of the, it's nighttime and everyone's drunk and the guards are even like taking hits off of it, so that's probably going to work.
Okay.
You're already in there with and like presumably, I don't know, there's some sort of yodeling or something going on to figure out like which of the air vents is the right one. I mean, that'll probably work. So you're like arranging this and you're like sort of lowering the rope down. You're tying on the kerosene. Just out at the swimming pool, which is now totally drained away, and the cactuses are really big.
People are on cactuses now?
Well, yeah. Okay, so there's something happening. People are screaming and seeming to panic as you look over and you kind of see. Are you outside at this point?
No, I'm still inside.
You're still inside. You're both inside as well. Are you outside?
I feel like I maybe like
You're probably still setting up the banner.
Yeah. I thought I had already rigged up the banner, so I'm gonna say I'm maybe waiting outside, ready to tug on the string. When I see them coming out, then I unfurl the string. Right?
So basically, your first cue is that both of you being on top of the building and you being sort of like next to the swimming pool, that something is wrong, is that someone is like on one of the cactuses and screaming as the moisture is sucked out of their body through the cactus needles, and they go.
Rich people and their weird fucking fetishes.
Oh.
And there are people who are like seeming to panic, but there are more people who are just like sort of just casually walking into the swimming pool and then throwing themselves on the cactuses.
And getting the moisture also.
And getting the moisture sucked out of them.
I can't say it any better than you just said it. Guess I'm in the furnace room.
I mean, I've done had an evening of telling these people to get sucked, and they just done and did it.
All right. So,
you know, this whole ignoring the plot to go do other things is kind of fun. I get it now.
Well, I mean, like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take my rope and I'm gonna put a rock on it so the banner doesn't furl. Actually, I'm gonna look around. Everybody's screaming and having the liquid sucked from their body. It's like, you know what? Dry corpses are not going to exactly come around to my views on wealth redistribution, so I'm just gonna let go of the rope and the banner can unfurl.
Unfurls now. I'd like to grab one of the people who's running towards the swimming pool by the shoulder and say, "Hold on there, son. What's the?"
I gotta. She told me to go. I gotta go.
Wait, she?
And he's just continuing to move towards the.
Okay, no. Hold on. Hold your horses.
Okay. So he's like struggling with you.
Yeah.
He's like trying to get to the swimming pool.
Yeah, you know, not time for the pool yet. Pool is closed due to cactuses. Why are you trying to get into this pool?
I gotta get in the pool. gotta hug the cactus. I gotta hug it.
Why do you gotta hug it?
It's just so important.
Get a hold of yourself, son.
No, it's really important. I gotta hug it. It's important to hug the cactus.
It is not at all a thing that's worth
Okay. Oh.
Can I just like look down from the top of the building and just see Crankcore like beating the shit out of this guy?
You are going to tell me why you got to hug a... You'll get your turn.
Okay, so it spits blood out and it's like... I what?
You were just about to run into that pool there and hug a cactus.
No, you've had too much to drink, buddy.
No, I just enough. You seem to
be behind him. It's like more people dying, people panicking. A lot of people dispersing from the scene at this point, not sure what to do. Dry corpses falling off of cacti.
Do I see the Dawn come out of his like back room during any of this? Is he hopping on the cactus?
I think the Dawn is probably getting onto his like carriage with various improvements and things like that, and like GTFing-O at this point.
Wouldn't be that easy, would it?
No. Could we like? I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Can we trigger our kerosene while there's still some fat cats to murder, please?"
All right, I rig up the whole candle
we set it up.
Yeah.
Okay,
we should get the heck out of here.
Let's go.
You still got this guy.
Yeah, just you're dragging with it.
All right.
Do you know this guy?
Probably.
What's his name?
I don't know. His face is all effed up.
Does one of you want to play this guy? You know about as much as he does at this point, or as I do about what he knows at this point.
Why are we going so fast?
He says as you're walking.
It seems like a...
He is really inebriated.
Opportune time to leave here. I mean, there's the cactus pit, or there's the door, and I think the door allows us to be alive and wet for a while.
There's also a fiery death.
That too. Don't tell no one about that.
What?
Okay, let's go.
All right. So the news the next day is going to have something about how like a lot of people died because they just started jumping into the swimming pool full of cacti and being demoistured to death. And also there was a big explosion.
I'd like to think of the newspaper as like cactus destroys party, people get moisture sucked out, and then just in like a little box set it's like also party explodes in some due to a small socialist sect.
Small anarcho-socialist sect also tries to send message, comma, fails.
I was going to say, it's nothing like the mainstream media to leave out the liberal bias like that.
But look, they got 2/3 of the banner.
Yeah, now it just says socialism now, which is kind of on point for the cactuses in the...
So there's going to be competing factions showing up in the town. Some of which so there's been this rumor started about the sand witches that are the scattered reports that people were told by some lady to jump into the pool and grab cactuses. But there's also now people are on the hunt for socialists. Somehow.
We don't have a problem. We love money too much.
No, yeah.
No one's gonna think we're a socialist.
Somehow, socialist, anarchist,
sandwiches.
I guess the word would be terrorists caused cactuses to spring up at the guild hall and kill a whole bunch of people, and also there was an explosion. So no one's really sure what caused the cactus weirdness, because the cactuses aren't there anymore in the epilogue to that particular scene. But yeah, it could have been the socialists, and socialists with some knowledge of how to use magic. All right, Kathleen, it is your turn to define a scene.
Oh, I was so enraptured with your storytelling. Okay. So we'll say this is a couple days later, where things have settled down. Luckily, we're going to say that Euphemia and Zal, because we've actually been doing some pretty good stuff. for the community now that we've like deputized and are like trying to stand up for the little guy.
Despite your like V for Vendetta nightlife that you've got going on.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like the average person in Dry Gulch is just like, whatever, fat cats, right? You know, so like maybe we're still able to move around. But what I've heard about is that there's, because of course I'm picking up on the same rumors as other people, that I've heard that there's some sort of anarcho-socialist collective of sapphic sandwiches. Because it's an all-female group, and that has sparked my interest a lot. So I'm going to go see if I can perhaps join these sandwiches or see if we have similar economic goals.
Okay,
so I'm investigating, and I'm going to like be asking around town and like maybe like the general store about the sandwiches.
So the scene that we're setting is you are going into the general store and trying to mine the shopkeep for information, and as well as any other person who happens to be passing by about the sandwiches.
But I wanted to see if there's any magical lesbian communists.
Okay. What is the name of this general store?
This is Hoppo's General Store.
Hoppo's General Store. Okay.
Hoppo.
All right. So you go for it.
All right. Who's?
No.
Hey, Hoppo.
Hi!
Hi. You are so perky.
Oh, always. How's your day going?
My day is going great. Do you know, I heard back about the grievance I filed about the soap in the big communal bathrooms that we have down at City Hall.
Oh, yeah, they're just disgusting.
Yeah, but you know what? We're going to get lavender soap instead of that gross orange stuff.
That's terrific. I'm allergic to lavender. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, well, I mean, I can file another grievance and see if they can switch to, like, jasmine or, like, I don't know, rose or something like that.
I'm allergic to soap.
Oh, that explains the smell. So, Hoppo, as I'm sure you saw in the newspaper, there was that terrible calamitous accident at the guild hall where many people were killed by cactuses, and also a plucky upstart band of wealth redistribution experts hung a suspiciously well-crafted banner. And do you happen to know who might have been behind that part of it?
Dad,
Well, I don't know.
Dad, I'm going out. Can I have some money? Have some money, Dad?
You're draining this family dry, son. You're a burden on everything that we do, but here you go, $10. Perhaps maybe when you come back you can tell me about the new job that you got?
No, I'm taking Liza out. She's, gonna be back soon from her meeting. So I gotta go find Liza.
Perfect. Well, you can tell her that she
Thanks,
could probably find someone better.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning so much about you, Hoppo, right now. So anyhow, leads on an all-female band of cuties. I mean terrorists.
Well, I don't know too much about them. I do know that they spend all their time way, way out in the sand dunes. At least that's what the rumors say. Oh, hey, Crankor.
Oh,
Ah,
is it the general store?
yes, Miss Crankor. It's so good to see
It
you.
is a common and ungendered name. Now, I was just wondering, I'm new to town here. Do you have any moisturizers?
I do,
Maybe
just in the back.
Some lavender in them? And
I
some
don't
like
sta-
fresh scents?
I don't actually stock any of that devil flower in my store.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take the raw stuff then. I'm just very dry.
Sure, go get it.
Thanks so much.
It's just in the back.
I'll be looking.
Listen, I don't know much. I know that they live out in the desert, and I hear they got treasure.
Excellent. What part of the like far desert, near to west, east, any directions?
In the middle desert. Not too far, but but also, I mean, these are just rumors. That's all I know.
Okay, excellent. Can I go talk to that lady over there?
Hello.
Hello, you said you're new to town.
Yes, we've only been here a little while, but it's a nice place. It's very moist.
I mean, that's not how anybody would ever describe Dry Gulch, because it's not only antithetical to the name, but also the water situation we have going. But I'm glad that's an improvement from wherever you came from.
Yes, the water situation is very much a concern for us.
Oh, and what was your name again, sorry?
I'm Crankor.
Oh, yes, a common and omnisexual name.
It is indeed. Makes things do. Anyway, I'm just here to get some moisturizer for me and my coven.
Coven, you say?
Yes.
Are you taking application? What do you do in this coven?
Well, maybe we're just sisters who are doing it for themselves.
Are you taking applications for new members?
I don't know just yet. Perhaps if you came and visited us at the old riverbed, we could see if there's a place you could fill in maybe all of our desiccated selves.
Hey, listen, this is a general store. Maybe buy something instead of chatting. You can go down to the cafe down there if you want to chat. Just buy something.
I'd like to buy this industrial tub of moisturizer.
Fine, that'll be 5 gold.
I'll buy this 1 copper candy.
That's...
Oh,
You said buy something. I'm a civil servant.
thanks.
Well, anyway, we'll see you down at the riverbed sometime.
Thank you, appealing yet crusty lady.
Stay moist. Goodbye.
Have a great day. Maybe consider, supporting local businesses a little bit more than a single copper next time.
I think that scene went well.
Hoppo's dead inside.
Okay.
So, is this the halfway point?
Yeah, about the halfway point. It seems like a good place, good time, because we're streaming over like dinner hour. It's probably a good time for us to stop and just quickly grab a snack and a drink,
Okay.
and
means you too.
then come back in a couple of minutes. If that is okay for you guys and okay for Paul, and you're ready to start a break, that now seems like a good time.
We'll be right back, chat, as soon as we jam some easily
Some
consumed
grub in
food.
our tubs.
And get moist.
I mean,
Stay
I was
moist.
literally I bought almonds, and I was like, let's just jam some nuts in our mouth. And I was like,
Oh.
right after that last conversation. Bye,
Enjoy
everybody.
your break.
See you in like 5 to 10.
Hello and welcome back. We are doing a special bonus episode of something that resembles Dice Friends to celebrate the launch. Hi, I'm Jer, by the way. I used to be in Loading Ready Run once upon a time, and I've been away for a long time. But, you know,
I'd like to think that you've never truly left Loading Ready Run. You're just on hiatus.
I am here in spirit. You might hear me
Because he's a
jangling
ghost.
chains and
Because our amazing improv killed him.
Jacob Marley. Marley and Marley. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's watching this special bonus episode, and to everyone who's come to join me for a session that I'm ostensibly game mastering to promote the release of my app. In the time since doing Loading Ready Run stuff full time, I have become a full-time iOS app developer, and I've created my own app, which I was going to release today, but due to a confluence of circumstances that is maybe too long to explain, is not going to be released today. But yes, hello. If you don't know me, I'm Jer. I have a Twitch stream at GUI Duck. That's my Twitch username, and then GUI.TV is my Twitter handle. If you are interested in finding out about the app in the future, I recommend that you check out those places because hopefully I will resolve my tax issues with the Canadian government and get the app out ASAP.
Tax
And we'll
collection
make
issues, not
all
tax
this
payments.
promotion that we're doing and all the favors I've called in to make today happen all worth it.
You are still solvent, from what I understand.
Yes.
I'm still solvent. I have a full-time job. I make apps in my spare time. That's why it takes 8 months to get one out the door. And thank you, Canadian government, and the GST.
Anyhow.
Thank you, GST. Okay, so let's recap what's been happening in our session so far. So our intrepid heroes live in the town of Dry Gulch, which is a halfway point between your standard D&D agrarian medieval community and a spaghetti western town fallen on hard times. In this town, there is the most recent economic event that has happened recently is that the dwarves that used to run the mine built this big dam at the behest of the fat cats in Pewter Hawk City, and the dam has taken all the water from Dry Gulch, and all the water the town has now is ferried in on the backs of big wagons and kept in a water tower in the middle of town, and it just makes things hard for everyone. Thankfully, we have intrepid heroes who are around to solve not only the socio-economic problems of the town, but also the fact that there have been some serious problems. People have been getting murdered, and their bodies have been turning up totally drained of all moisture. Cattle ranchers have found that recently at a party that these guys were at, some cactuses grew out of the middle of a swimming pool, and people got drained of all their moisture from that. Bad stuff has been happening.
Yeah, it exploded for some reason too.
Also, there was an explosion.
I don't know how that happened.
And the vampire confessed to doing it.
Yes, there was a vampire that did confess to draining the blood of cows, but not people in particular. There was also someone who was highly suggested might be a sandwich, and
Named Crankcore.
named Crankcore.
It's a common name.
There are rumors in town of run-amok anarcho-socialists and also sandwiches that may be killing people and draining the moisture from their bodies. And then we also have these 4 intrepid heroes. Why don't we just quickly describe who everyone is and how they relate to everyone else, starting over here.
I am playing Terry Goodstuff. I am a basically down on my luck grave robber at this point who works together with
Sweet Crankor over here.
with Crankor because I owe a lot of money to a dwarven cartel, and at one point I was very much a officer of the law or officer of the janitorial service with my spouse Zal over there. But when I fell in hard times, I was too embarrassed of it, and we divorced a little bit. We super divorced. We are divorced, and now it seems like Zal wants to get back together with me, but I'm still a little hesitant.
Over here you got yourself a young man named Crankor. He is a dwarf. He used to work with the dwarven the clan Hammerspur, but up until the time when the Hammerspurs decided that working underground was too bad for them, and they decided to come on up out of the ground and start making dams for all those fat cats over in Pewter City. I ain't having none of that. Dwarf's place is in the ground where he belongs, where the treasure is, so I done teamed up with my good friend here, Carl. Nope, that's not your name. Your name is Terry Goodstuff.
Did you call me Carl?
I don't never call anyone Carl who's not a Carl. It's not a very common name.
That's a frequent thing you say.
I wouldn't make that mistake. Done teamed up with you. We've been robbing graves and making a sweet life together.
I am Euphemia Flunt. I used to work in the town clerk's office issuing permits to miners, which is how I met Crankor, because we have a bond through work.
Thanks, right.
You found a particularly interesting worried coin with a jagged edge, and I looked the other way and let you hold on to it, even though it was probably an item of some historical significance. So maybe you owe me a favor.
I was gonna use that to pay for my first claims permit, and you just said nope.
But since all the fat cats closed the mine and redirected our river, due to, thankfully, a strong and vocal union, I was able to keep my job. But I've been transferred to the janitorial service, and whereas I've got a lot more time on my hands, I've been thinking about ways that we could improve wealth distribution in Dry Gulch, and so I have started a cell of anarcho-socialists. But I do that in the evening. But luckily, because I've also sort of taken on the job of like being a deputy to clean up the town, so far nobody suspects.
So I'm Zal the Accursed, and along with Euphemia, I'm a self-appointed town deputy. We're trying to set everything right while simultaneously blowing up the fat cats who done us wrong. Also, on the side, I'm trying to get back together with my sweetie.
Maybe. We'll see what happens in the second book.
All right, so we are in the second half of the game with about an hour and 15 minutes left in the 4-hour slot that we had set aside for it.
Oh.
Mind you, we did do character creation and stuff, so, you know. But, okay, so the way that we did the first half is I define a scene and then I let one of you guys define a scene. We're going to reverse that for the second half so that I get the last word, which means that I'm going to go over to Ian and say, Ian, it is your turn to define a scene for whatever you would like that you would like Crankor to be doing.
You know, I'd actually like to go out and have a short night out with you.
Ooh.
In the graveyard.
Oh, okay.
You just watch yourself.
And we'll make that another 2 days later.
He's been keeping track of his health. This whole. What are you back at now? 10. You were at 2.
You're recovering from that goring quite nicely.
Is the horn still stick? Did you just leave the horn?
I mean, yeah, I suppose I did.
It's just become a part of you.
Yeah, it's in there good now.
It holds the shovel for you.
It's
When you're like standing like this, and then it just like leans against the horn.
There's a lot of scabs around the outside moving. It hurts.
You know, Terry, you'd be surprised how much you can carry on something like this. You should see about getting a horn installed yourself sometime.
I mean, maybe as some sort of thing that's, you know, not protruding into my body, but I mean on the outside, maybe. It seems like a pretty good thing to do.
Yeah, it does. Now,
Okay, so you two are in the graveyard.
yes.
There appears to be some sort of strange ape man.
Yeah, there's a sound I can't quite.
Oh, it's a wagon wheel.
Thank you very much.
There's an ape man.
There's sure is a heavy wagon.
I wasn't sure if there was a pump or maybe
I wish there
some
was
sort of a
some
bird.
young people who could come here and help me carry this big old wagon full of corpses
I think we
through
got
the graveyard. Man, it's heavy because of how many corpses
Oh,
there
there.
are on it.
Strange ape man holding the carriage.
Yeah, my arm's just kind of stuck like this after a while of carrying the cart.
That's understandable.
It's a real problem. That's why I got this installed. You can get one of them. Anyway, that's a large number of corpses you got there.
Where'd they come from?
They're all from the dam.
From inside the dam?
And these are only the ones that they were able to recover.
Let me get a good look at that there, see what these,
They're all dwarf corpses.
Done.
Dwarfses.
A big old load.
All right, that's their word.
No, that's a big load of dwarfses you got there. I gotta say, it's kind of dark here. Can I get your lantern to see if I can see if these things are...
Hold up.
I'm gonna. No, here, let me help you with that. Yeah, all right.
I want to see how, are these dry or are these nice and squishy the way a dwarf should
They're
be?
all dry. All of them is dry. Every single one of them. And that's only the ones they could recover. That dam is like a ghost town. If it was like not a town, but like a big piece of concrete that stretched.
hold on.
You mean metaphorical ghost town, not like the actual ghost town.
It's like,
tales down.
yeah, like not a town full of ghosts, but like concrete, like a big grave. But
Dead
it's,
people.
Hold on.
Except dwarves, not people.
Can you excuse us for 1 second? Crankor,
Yes.
listen.
What's up?
Nobody's in the dam anymore, or right now.
Yeah.
Don't they have, like, a whole lot of valuables inside the dam?
I mean, well, they got the rocks they made out. They got the... You know, we might as well just go check it out at some
Like,
point.
if there's a bunch of stuff to steal in the dam, it seems like the place we want to go.
It is a very large. I mean, at the very least, we could take some iron spikes out, some copper wiring, just
Hey, you boys know, if I wanted to bury some corpses and not have anyone find out I was burying them,
Why don't you want anybody to find out that you're burying them?
I don't have a permit for...
Hey, I got an idea for you.
Okay, you're gonna want to steer clear of a very, very specific woman.
Oh my God, you just get kicked right in the foot. Hey, how about you don't give those corpses to us and we'll bury them for you? That way, nobody knows that you done no burying.
I tell you what, you do that and I'll give you 5 silver pieces to bury these corpses in a large unmarked grave and not tell anyone where they are.
Sir, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's not telling people where I've buried people a second time.
All right, you hold on, son, hold on. I gotta get this money out. It's very difficult. You know, the years of carrying the cart. makes it
You know,
very.
I think there's chiropractors in Dry Gulch that you could probably seek out that can help you out with that.
Oh yeah, you got a recommendation for a chiropractor?
Yeah, Crankor's chiropractor.
He's a skeleton.
Oh,
If there's one person who knows about readjusting bones, it's Crankor the skeleton.
yeah, a necromancer came through town and set up shop for a little while, but then decided once the business was up and running, he sold it to his skeleton and left to go start a chain.
I was gonna do some Pilates, and it turned out that there was a displacer beast that was running the Pilates studio.
Well, let me tell you, if you're looking for pilots, you find lots of pilots down on the Sword Coast.
In the Sword Coast, I look for the pilots.
Yeah, it's pronounced pilots, not Pilates.
All right. I will look for the pilots. I will go into the city and I will say, "Give me your pilots," and they will give me a.
Yeah, you don't watch your pronunciation. You don't want any dragon riders. That's a different thing entirely. People who fly. Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you, son. Thank you. Here's it. Here's your 5 silver pieces.
Thank you so much. You keep one of those yourself. It's easy to split.
No, we need to keep it all.
Oh, damn it! It fell on the ground.
Just leave it. I'm sure you don't need it.
It'll sink into the ground. It's a circle of life, sewing it with silver. You boys have a good night.
Thank you. All right, let's search these corpses.
You don't think he's already done that?
No, he's an upstanding young gentleman.
Yeah, we're gonna search the corpses.
What are you finding in the corpses?
Yeah, Steve.
Wow, there just happens to be amongst all the pockets about 20 pieces of gold.
Hey, but that takes you down to 48 gold. You need to give that I have his name, Guido Stonecutter.
I think one of them had an apple, but it's now completely shriveled and dry.
Yeah.
One of them had a cloth bundle, and in dwarf, it says "Warning, cursed, do not open," and the bundle is all wrapped and tied up.
Okay, I pick up the bundle. Look at this. It says "Do not open." That means it's gotta be good stuff inside.
Let me give a listen to that here.
Open me. There's such good shit in here, dog. Open me.
You know what? I think we gotta open this, but you know what? This is definitely your treasure to unwrap here.
Are you sure you don't want to do it together?
I've had bad luck in. I've had bad luck all my life. I'm just gonna let you open this, and
All right.
you're the one who needs the money now.
Okay, I unwrap the bundle.
All right. You tease the bundle open, or are you just like ripping it open?
I slowly unwrap the bundle.
All right. So you like pull back one piece of cloth, and there's like a purple glow of light escapes from the inside.
It's a purple glow of light escaping from the inside.
Are you gonna keep going?
I mean,
And you think you hear someone talking in like a really dramatic voice.
all right, I lean up close to it.
You have discovered great riches and wealth await you.
I heard, I didn't make out most of it, but I did hear magical artifacts. And that sounds like something I need in my life. So I'm going to keep opening it.
Okay. You open it. Inside is an ivory box, which is about, yay big. And it is carved with a skeleton on one side that is holding a scythe and a severed head and is partially turning to stone, however you represent that in a carving.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it is an angel who's holding money and like praying up to the moon.
Look at this!
Sparkly magic stuff coming off of it.
This looks great if you look only on this side.
Hey, it's great. I wish you were not holding the side with the with the scythe.
Don't forget it. If you're not looking at it, it doesn't exist.
Certainly the way dwarves work, yes.
You have discovered the magical deck of many things.
Wow! It's got many things! Also, it talks. That's gotta be worth something.
Open the box and declare what number of cards you wish to draw to face the consequences of great fortune or great despair.
Box, I gotta ask, there's two of us here. Does that mean that one of us gets to mulligan our draw first before we play?
Each of you must choose the number of cards that you wish to draw before you draw them, but the first person can choose and complete their draws before the second person chooses and commences their own draws.
Cool!
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's say hypothetically we don't like what we get. Can we throw it back?
No!
This is a tough one.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Not open the talking magic box?
How about this? How about this? How about this? We take one card each.
Okay.
And if it's good, it's good. We can take it back into town. We can
Okay.
get it appraised and figure out what to do with it.
You say how many cards you want
Okay.
first. All right. We open the box.
All right,
White box.
there is a deck of cards inside it.
Okay.
Please give to me one card.
You are aware that if you draw your one card and if you wish to draw further cards, you will not be able to.
Is this like a forever thing or just like this?
Yes!
Oh!
Make it. Oh man, that's not this. What if there's a whole bunch of good stuff in here?
That changes. Well, I mean, it's.
You could choose two. Then one could be bad and one could be
It
good.
did call itself Crankor, the deck of many things.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
It's a very common name!
Come on, go big.
3 cards. I think I can handle 3 good things in my life.
3's a good number.
Three-
It's a good storytelling number for a narrative.
It is, and it's going to put me back on the path to life. I've had 3 bad things happen to me in my life. Number 1, I was born.
Well, that's
And that just
oddly depressing.
started the whole. That's the start of the whole chain.
Plus,
of
you got
problems.
named Crankor, so you're like 1 in a million.
Yeah. Number
Or a
2.
million in a 1.
Number 2. I found that coin in the ground.
Right.
And that just awakened the greed in my heart. That I need more. Number 3. I lost my place in dwarven society.
Well, I imagine helping destroy, like, blow them up was not, it didn't help that.
Don't make this about me.
I'm just offering, criticism on your life choices.
So if I can just get 3 good things in my life, besides you, that is.
Aw, so you should only need 2 then.
I'm greedy. Let's go. 3 cards.
All right. As it happens, we have an application that is made as an interface that acts as an interface for the deck of many things. Should
Wow.
someone
Chances.
find it?
Whoa! Oh, look, it's up on
We
the
have
wall.
it up on the screen. And we are playing right now the original edition of Dungeons and Dragons. So why don't we set the rules to original edition?
Oh no.
This
We
can
will
only be good.
Well, we
set
get 2 NPCs to go investigate
discard
the witches.
jokers will stay on. Restrict max draws to 4 is an original edition rule.
Interesting.
Oh,
But
so you're grabbing you're almost grabbing the maximum amount of cards.
I didn't hear.
all right, and sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Pardon me. If you want to just hit that draw button, keep it in landscape. The app actually works in landscape or portrait, but we decided that landscape's better.
It's better for the setup here.
Yeah. So if you want to hit that old draw
Draw
button,
1 card here. Let's see
You
what
want
the
some
first
water,
one.
Jared?
it's set to 3. I've got a drink here.
Okay.
Oh, here comes 3.
Okay, so
Oh,
you want
you
to
get to
drag
actually-
one of those cards into the middle of the screen.
Whoa!
That sure is a nifty purple back there. Whoa! I'm not sure how to pronounce that with this accent.
Uriel?
Uriel.
Uriel.
Wow, that's a pretty cool card. It's got a snake lady on it.
It sure does. And this here snake lady, she gonna tell me what she's gonna do to me. She is going to decrease my primary ability score by 1.
Which,
So
as a dwarf, I believe would be strength.
yeah, my strength is now less.
Thankfully,
Oh,
because ability
looking-
scores don't make much change in this edition, that doesn't actually affect your stats at all.
Oh, well, that's kind of fantastic then.
You look a little weaker.
I feel a little weaker, but I think I'm ready to move on.
Okay, what's the next card that you got?
It's flames. I mean, we had that last night. There's this a sad anger man on here with the horns. This is giving me flashbacks here of some things I've been through already. A hostile 5-hit die. Subterranean monster ambushes me, taking me unawares.
Well, this can only be good.
When suddenly, from behind you, a cave panther pounces,
Wow! I'm out of
taking you
here!
completely by surprise.
Ow! Concern it!
All right, I have a 15. No, sorry, I have a 17 to hit you with my Cave Panther.
I mean, that's. Oh, it's 17?
Yeah.
That is right on the armor class.
For 5 points of damage as it pounces and lands on your back.
Cranko, watch out for that cat!
Ow!
And now we will enter combat.
God, I feel like it was just yesterday.
Can I get the two? So we're gonna roll initiative.
Okay.
And rolling initiative in original edition D&D is much easier than it is in normal or in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I need one of the two of you to nominate yourself as the initiative roller for this round, and we're gonna both roll d6s, and whoever rolls higher is going to get to go first this round.
I will take initiative on this.
All right. I have a 3.
I have a 1.
All right. So my panther is going to go first, and it is going to gore the heck out of you.
I repeat, consonant.
All right. So I have 14 to hit you.
Oh, that is under my armor class.
Okay. So you throw the panther off of you, and it like lands. It lands near one of the graves, and it does the thing where it like skids and turns around.
Oh, it does the Akira pose.
Bares its fangs. What do the two of you want to do?
You go run up and hit it with your mighty.
Do I now?
Go get it!
Or do I run the heck away?
I still haven't got to draw my card. We gotta kill this cat.
All right, we're
Now,
gonna
keeping in mind, you've got the deck of cards in your hands, right?
That's true.
So if you were to,
Draw your final card.
draw the final card.
What's the worst thing that can happen? Maybe some sort of magic bullet that'll get us out of here.
The deck has been protected by some sort of biometric security. I'm unable to access my final card. All right.
Oh, no, I need to reconnect.
Oh no. Okay. I'll put the card back.
If that
And
works.
now we've lost our connection to the deck. Oh, come on, think really hard about how badly we need to draw this card.
God, I can think of about like 802.11 reasons that could but I don't know if it's A, B, C, or D.
All right, so you were using your action this round to draw your last card
Yes,
from the
I
deck.
am. It's gonna be a knight at my whim. An 8th level fighter approaches to serve me.
Oh!
Wearing a +3 longsword, a +3 shield, and +3 plate mail. These vanish with the warrior an hour after they're summoned. No chance, Jack! I had no idea it should be here.
Is somebody gonna play this night?
Hello! My name is Chint Buffsteak.
Chip Buffstick! We've heard of you!
What are you doing for this round? He draws the card. Chint appears.
Hello.
Okay. I guess I will. Ooh, can I hide in the shadows?
Yeah, you absolutely can try and do that. So how are you doing this?
I dive behind a grave.
Okay, just the nearest grave, or like you getting a little bit of headway in there? Or?
Yeah, I'll run and yeah, try and just find like a grave. Maybe that's behind a nice tree kind of a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
With some like shrubbery and stuff around it.
Yeah.
You know, the sarsaparilla grave nearby has been disturbed lately by some grave robbers.
Well, that sounds great. I know that area well for no discernible reason.
What is your hide in shadows?
20%.
Okay. Great. Well, I know whether or not you succeeded on that. All right. So that is you guys. So now we're going to roll initiative again. One of the three of you needs to nominate yourself to roll some initiative.
Shit.
Chint Buffsteak rolls a 3.
I rolled a 2, so the three of you get to go first.
Yay.
You can go whatever order you want. You just do what you like.
I'm here to kick ass and punch panthers, and I'm all out of ass, so I'm gonna go punch a panther.
Thank you, Chin.
His classic catchphrase. It's really odd that he always shows up to panther fights, but I love shit anyway.
He hates panthers.
Chint Buffsteak majestically raises his sword and looks at his glistening arms appreciatively as he brings it down, hopefully on top of this fire panther.
Fire panther. All right, it's a fire panther now. Go ahead.
What do I roll?
Roll me a d20. You are gonna add. Wait, sorry. What did we just say? How many hit dice did we say it was?
It was 5.
No, it's a 9th level fighter, right?
Oh, yeah, the fight. Yeah.
Okay, so
+3 equipment.
right. So you're gonna add. I think you're gonna add 7 to this.
Chint's got a sword too.
Well, I rolled a 13, so that's 20 for Chint
Okay,
Buffsteak.
you easily hit it, and roll me a d8 plus, we'll say 4, because Chint's got some pretty good strength.
Oh, get him.
That will be 11 points of damage.
Okay, so you bring the sword around and you bring it up underneath the panther, and because you're a superhero in literal terms, because that was the term for 9th level fighters in original edition Dungeons and Dragons, you bring the sword up under the panther and flip it into the air, and it flies, spinning around, lands on the ground, and springs back up to its on its paws with vengeance in its eyes and heart.
Oh, what's new, pussycat? I say.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
I want to see that 8 more times.
Yeah.
One last time.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm hidden behind a tree, I guess,
gonna
with
keep
the deck.
hiding. Yep.
Yeah.
So you can draw. Oh, you can't draw more than 4 cards.
I'm consider. Wait, in between both of us?
No, just you.
Oh. I'm gonna be drawing all 4. While Chit's here, he can protect us.
Now he's at Crankor's command, though.
Yeah. I mean, I see.
Crankor's command.
That's a good. That sounds like a great spell, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Like, which 3 effects do you want? Okay, go ahead.
I think. Chint did such a good. Chint was inspiring. I'm going to try the same thing with my hook hammer.
All right.
This is a very bad idea.
Yeah, probably.
17.
That is a hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
Roll me some damage with that hook hammer.
All right, hook hammer has
Ooh.
8 points.
Oh my gosh.
Blunt. Well, we'll call it piercing damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the panther is like stunned and reels a little bit, and it looks around at both of you and hisses again, like, but it's no fool, that panther, and it knows that now is time to automatically fail a morale save, and it is gone. It hops up on top of the big mausoleum and yowls at the moon, in really majestic fashion, and then bounds off to fight and ambush you another day. Goodbye, ambush panther.
Wow. All we did was release a panther into Dry Gulch. I'm sure we won't think about that later.
Ain't going to be no problem
Fire
for us.
panther.
Right, a fire panther. Yeah.
I'm helping.
Thanks, Chit.
Thanks, Chit.
I'm here for 57 more minutes.
All right,
I'm gonna draw some cards.
Can I offer you some dwarven pemmican?
Delicious.
It's made of dwarves.
All right, you can.
Just.
Really
Yeah.
taste the berries.
So I'm hidden behind a tree.
Wait, so you're hiding behind the tree with the deck.
With the deck, and you guys are doing your thing, and I get
Oh,
super
that-
greedy because I'm like, man, some really amazing stuff just happened from this deck. Maybe it's got gold inside. Nothing happened to me. Plus, Chit's here. He'll protect me.
Yeah.
Maybe if Crankor wants it.
Oh, I do.
Oh, magical deck. I hope you can get me out of my magical debt. I'm gonna draw 4 cards from you,
Oh dear.
and hopefully everything's okay. I'll start with the one right here. Oh, I hope it's something good. Oh, a star card. Increases all my abilities by 1?
Increases 1.
One of
your
my ability
by
scores by 1?
Your choice.
I guess probably Dex. So that goes to 15?
All right, that's the same. Does exactly the same things as it did before.
Okay,
But those
all
dex
right.
checks are going to be easier now.
I feel really rejuvenated.
You're looking like you could do some macrame.
On a completely unrelated thing, there appears to be some talons.
That's a problem.
My most treasured magical possession vanishes, forever lost.
Isn't that the deck?
I'm going to say that this does not include the deck. Later editions of the rules actually specify that it can't be the deck, but this particular one does not. For right now, we'll say that it can't be the deck.
Oh no, what about your wedding ring?
I do keep that safe.
But didn't it say magical?
It has to be a magical possession.
I don't think I have any magic.
If you don't have a magical possession, it's all moot. You get out of jail
Oh, hell
free.
yeah. See, nothing bad can happen from this deck. I'm not even worried.
They get a free draw.
Yeah. All right, this will be the best thing we've drawn so far. My flesh is instantly and irresistibly petrified, and I become a statue.
Draw no more cards.
This will be the best one that ever.
Terry?
And Terry has become a part of the graveyard that he...
Terry Goodstuff. No. No, my one friend. I'll leave you here, friend. I'll make sure to put you back in the earth where no one can find you. Sleep well, Prince.
You broke my statue! What the shit?
So much for stone to flesh.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes.
Welcome, son!
You literally murdered me. Dude!
Well, I think that's a great place to draw the scene to a close.
Wait, can I do that thing that I've always wanted to do from like old D&D? The like...
Yeah, you go
I've
ahead.
never gotten to do this before with the character sheet.
Really?
No! I've never died in D&D before.
That's because we're soft people who play new editions.
Yeah. It's so hard to kill players in 5th edition.
It's been a long
Yeah, I
time
know.
since I've killed
It's
someone.
so
I keep
easy to
trying.
accidentally kill people in original edition.
Yeah.
Press F. I can't see chat, but press F for Terry.
Oh no!
The F is silent.
This is such a sad romantic thing.
Terry.
I mean, Val doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Or
Someone's
Val
going to have to
doesn't
tell
know.
me.
Yep.
Crank,
Crinker's gonna have to tell us out.
Maybe.
you could like give him a piece of him.
I feel like if you tried to tell Zal the
Keep my
next,
stone dong.
if you try to tell Zal the next 53 minutes, I can do it. Me, chipped buff steak.
You're much better at this than I am. I'm going to try and chisel out his stone dong.
Please don't.
The statue.
Listen, it's really cold in this graveyard, and I just don't need that right now.
All right, so Crankcore, you've got the deck. You can do with it what you wish, but you cannot draw any more cards from it.
This is a powerful item which could be used for good or evil, which means I will hang on to it as the hero of my own story.
So are you giving us the last scene?
So I'm giving you the third of my potentially 4 scenes, because remember I reversed the order for the latter half. So this next scene takes place in the middle of the night, so probably the same night, potentially within the next 53 minutes after the previous scene took place,
Oh, and then
if
can
you
be
so
chipped buff
choose.
steak.
Oh yeah, all right.
It is the bars are emptying out. It's the end of the night. Last call has happened, which probably in Dry Gulch happens at like 4 a.m. or something like that. Basically, people who just live in the bars here. But the bars are emptying out. The sort of like rougher part of town is getting pretty full of people, and suddenly there and some of you maybe are there. You've been drowning your sorrows, or you just happen to be visiting.
Well, because I think Terry had to do some work, but he's going to meet me at the bar after work.
Yeah.
So I'm just hanging out waiting for Terry.
All right. Anyone else there? You're maybe like you're maybe like
yeah,
at the
I'm
graveyard
with
or like
you.
just
Oh,
leaving
yeah,
the
well,
graveyard sometime soon.
Oh wait, Chit is with me. Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
also
like
your face.
Euphemia is in bed.
Wait,
Yeah.
you got my
But
face?
maybe you have a friend who will come to drink with you.
Right.
Well, there's like lots of people around too, so like anyone that you want to be, you can happily jump into the shoes of.
I am Coletica Dlurt.
At some point, so as I say, the bars are emptying out, the streets are pretty full, things are getting busy, and then suddenly there's a scream, and someone's like, "He bit me! He bit!" pointing, and then there's more screaming and yelling, and
Sounds like a vampire.
There's-
Coletica, I'm going to go check out the vampire.
Oh, I'm gonna come with you because I'm really drunk. And I love vampires. They're so sexy with the long hair.
Hark! Crankor! I hear the sound of a woman in trouble.
They are very loud, but I think if there's one thing that I've known about you, Chint, in the past 53 minutes, you will not shut up about helping people. We might as well go help that
I
woman.
like to help.
You're very helpful.
I'd like to help.
Help the woman.
Help the woman.
all right, so the crowd sort of separates around you, and you can see that there is a person in the crowd who is looking slightly dried out a little bit, maybe too much sun, very sort of flaky around the skin, and sort of like, you know, with the arms out like this, maybe making a bit of a...
So that person is beyond my help, but is there someone who's looking like she might be controlling this? Or maybe she just has a tall pointy hat and she's looking on gleefully, or...
it's very dark and there's a lot of bodies around, but there are more screams coming from like other places around. You don't see anyone who's like maniacally floating in the air going, "Mahaha, my zombie minions."
Can I look again? Because that does sound like exactly the person I'm looking
like
for.
what you're looking for. Yeah. So you're like looking around and like trying to spot like some sort of mastermind over the zombies.
That's what I'm doing.
And you're not seeing anyone in particular. I should actually point out that you do see a few more zombies, and you recognize one of them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's your friend the rancher.
Oh.
Wait, Carl?
Fredfurter.
Oh.
Carl Fredfurter.
Yeah.
He's back.
The one who was writing his poetry.
No.
No, the one who was dead.
Carl Fredfurter, who was dead at the ranch.
Oh, Carl. Okay. Because there was a Fredfurter who was in like a younger Fredfurter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Carl.
This is Carl.
The actual
Okay.
rancher. Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember you guys found all their bodies and then you just
Like
kind of left them.
The
and
dry dead one?
Yeah.
But he's okay now?
Well, no, he's dry and dead still, but he's like wandering around.
Oh, he's a zombie.
He's trying to eat people.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So so you're looking around, trying to spot the mastermind behind whatever might be happening. You're not seeing anything to that effect.
Your mic is probably rubbing against you.
Oh no.
Oh, just like clip it further down your shirt. Sorry.
I don't do this professionally anymore. It's very hard. Shit's last name.
Buffsteak.
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 Is it
It's Chint Buffsteak.
Thank you, Buff Stick.
Look, this is what happens when I come up with names. They're not good, but they're there.
They're usually entertaining.
Kaletica, what are you up to?
I'm really drunk, and I'm like, that girl is really in need of some concealer and possibly like a big mani-pedi day. She just looks tired.
Okay.
Also, is that Kurt? I hate that guy.
I'm here to help.
All right, Chint, the magical warrior. There are definitely zombies attacking these people. You can see at least 5 of them in amongst the crowd, and then there's a bunch of panicking people who might be zombies, but they don't look as much like zombies. Yeah, that's basically what's going on.
Crankcore.
Chint, if there's one thing I learned in the last 5 minutes being with you and losing my best friend and keeping his face, is that you need to pay it forward. So, Chint, take out those zombies.
I like to help.
You'll be helping by taking out those zombies.
I will help.
All right, let's roll some initiative. Can I get one person to nominate themselves as the initiative roller for the table?
Chint.
Chins. I've rolled a 3.
I have a 5. My zombies always go last because they always lose initiative. So you guys get to go first.
I use my mighty sword and I cleave a zombie from the tip of its head all the way down in between its legs.
All right, you have +7 to hit and you do 1d8 plus 4 damage.
Okay. That will be a... Ooh, that's a really high number. 23.
That is definitely a hit. Do me some damage.
It's 1d8 plus 4, you said?
Yes.
This is like playing 5th edition.
10.
Okay, 10. You do exactly what you described.
Yeah, sweet.
How do you dismember this zombie?
I like to help, and I like go like so like from the zombie. It's like down like between its legs, and it like pizzas out into 2.
But does the dust come out because it's so dry?
Yeah, it's probably dust and sand. Basically comes out and it just sort of like starts vomiting out of both sides of its severed head and all over onto the ground, making sort of like a fountain as it disintegrates into basically dust, as you described.
Placing the sword on top of its head and then just pushing through.
These are just
Like a
scarecrows.
knife
They're like full of sawdust. This isn't even real. We need to be looking for a puppet master or something.
What are the rest of you doing?
Good work, Chint!
I like to help.
Kaletica is going to be like, man, that was rad! And she's going to look through the crowd to see if she sees anybody who's controlling the zombies, I guess.
Chint, you got a fan.
Taking the lead from Zell.
Hi. I like to help.
I got big, strong boys who don't look too smart, so let's talk later.
I'm just kind of pushing my way through the crowd, looking for information.
Okay.
But I have my big morning star out because this is kind of odd.
Okay, yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, and Crankor, you want to do anything?
I've just got my eyes open looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary at this point.
Okay.
A lot of stuff looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Shit and zombies, but
And does Kaletica? I guess
Wait, what
like
happens if
I
Chin
guess we don't
uses
know.
the-
If you know what? Kaletica is a character. I've decided. Is
Sure.
that okay?
that's
Yeah.
a question I have yet to answer.
Well, Paul gave me the halfling, so there you are. All right, so Kaletica's a halfling. So
So yeah, we're gonna. Okay, so this round, a couple of zombies are like there are a bunch of zombies around that are like terrifying the population and basically.
Like 550.
You guys spotted at least 5, but they sort of the crowd is dense and people are panicking, so it's very difficult to determine like how many there are. There might be
Okay.
more than 5,
but probably not 50.
Probably not 50.
Okay.
And Tal, one of them sort of comes out of the crowd and tries to attack you. Just tries to like take a bite out of your neck.
All right. I have a morning star.
Yep, that's good.
Oh, damn.
But it has the initiative right now. It has a 12 to hit you.
That's a hit. My armor class is 16.
That is not a hit
But
because we're using armor classes that are inverted from the old version that you may have been familiar with. So.
in basic D&D,
I know we're not using the attack roll system from basic D&D.
you
so,
in the chat are both very angry right now.
Hold on, I recognize you getting hit, Zal.
What?
I recognize Zal getting
Ah.
attacked from across the way. Zal, I have something for you.
Oh,
It
good!
might help out your situation.
Excellent! This can only be good!
It is an artifact of positive propagation, an app, if you will, that will create many things. Catch!
So you get
Very
tossed
good.
a box.
That was very
If you want to
good.
catch it, you can catch it. It seems reasonable you could catch something.
So, a propagation
An
artifact?
artifact
Is
of-
this what you chiseled off of him?
No, this is what I chiseled off of him. This is his
You
face.
didn't see your ex's face?
Like horrified.
I'm going to say that this is happening in the next round of initiative
Sure, yeah,
because you guys always win initiative. The zombie attack, a bunch of like other random people got attacked, but obviously you don't care. So yeah, you guys, you've caught the deck.
Yes.
I am the deck of many things. Choose how many cards to draw, and I will give you benefits and also consequences.
It has a tutorial.
I choose 7.
You may draw a maximum of 4 cards.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, fight the thing that killed me.
If I knew that, obviously I would.
Are you
I
going to
like
draw
to
4
help.
cards?
Yeah.
You are helping.
I fight for my friends.
All right, just there you go. It is up on the screen. So just drag the cards to the center of the screen to
we have a
draw them.
misunderstanding here about our relationship.
Moon.
You may make 1d3 whales, but need not make them immediately. Wishes.
Wishes. I was like, hold on. But I mean, also the whales thing is pretty cool too.
1, 2, 3 whales.
please summon whales.
The magic number is 3.
Whoa! Wishes? What do those do?
All right. Well, obviously, I wish that my sweetie was at my side.
Okay. A bunch of stone rubble falls out of the air and lands near you. Some of it actually falls from quite high up, and a couple of civilians nearby go on the head and fall over or scream in pain as small bits of stone shrapnel fall into their noggins. And yeah, so there's a bunch of stone debris nearby.
I wish that I wish that everybody around here, including the zombies, was perfectly all right.
Okay. That is cool. So
I feel much better now.
Oh no, I sobered up.
On the off chance this works, I'm puzzling my character sheet back.
Okay,
This is a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, so suddenly, everyone within like the area within about 10 feet of you, there are just like a lot of people, like a lot of people. Many of them are like quite old, and as you look around, you start seeing like, oh, that's like old Grandpa Weatherby who died 16 years ago.
Hi, Grandpa!
And so you just managed to bring back to life basically everyone in a 10-foot radius.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And my final wish is that I wish that Euphemia is the new leader of the sandwiches.
Okay.
It'll make me happy.
Well, you are nearby. You should be perfectly all right.
All right. That seems reasonable.
And then I get 3 more cards, right?
Yeah.
This is first card.
So, Euphemia disappears.
Well,
wasn't there.
I was in bed.
All right. Okay. So.
We'll deal with Euphemia later. How about that?
Okay. So I'm gonna. This is my description of sandwiches. I'm gonna hand this over to you.
So do I get to be a sandwich now?
You are one of these. I don't know how this is actually going to work out, but it should be interesting.
D&D. What a good game.
If I may interpret what Dale said literally, you said leader of the sandwiches, not necessarily a sandwich herself.
Oh, she's definitely a sandwich herself.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
I didn't specify. I was just assuming she would stay the same, but clearly that's not how the wish
I thought this
worked
was
out.
going to be some
Yeah.
sort of monkey's paw thing where she just turns into a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean,
I am.
Like a piece of bread with like meat in between.
Okay, so that was 1.
Yeah.
Now I get card. Oh, is card number 2 next round?
No. Yeah, card number 2 would be next round. So, yeah. Sorry, we had stuff that was happening with zombies. The 2 of you have gone. You tossed him a deck. You drew a card out of a deck. What do the 2 of you want to do?
Shit!
Well,
Fight
I'm
zombie.
sober now and annoyed, so I'm gonna try to shoot a zombie.
Oh, there's no zombies. Everyone's just alive.
I'm just gonna be annoyed.
Carl's alive.
Wait. Is Chin still around?
Yeah, he's fine.
Hey, Chin.
Everyone's perfectly fine.
Hi.
Hi. I heard you like to help, but I'm sober and irritated. Do you want to go and bone behind the shed?
I like to help.
Great. Take you and your presumably muscular appendages and come with me.
All right, I should go with her.
Exit NPCs.
You've done as much as you can for me. Now it's time for you to help someone else.
I'm gonna call combat over because you just revived all the zombies. So there's like a bunch of ranch hands and like all the people who were dead, and also there were some dead cows that were like also zombified. They were coming up behind the build, but they're fine now too.
So none of those are the person I care about.
Right. Oh yeah, he's alive too.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Wait. Damn it!
Let me find these pieces of paper.
You got another one of those on this side here.
So, how long do we have to enjoy our reunion before the deck does me in?
You have to draw 1 card an hour.
Oh, so we have like 57 minutes to enjoy ourselves. There's
probably
apparently
space.
Am I playing 2 characters just boning at the same time?
but not each other.
I like to
It'll
think
be
also
your
that,
greatest test as a performer.
that every minute the deck is reminding you how much time you have left to draw. You have 7 minutes left to draw another card. Otherwise, you'll be issued a slow play warning.
You brought me back to life.
Of course, sweetie.
I felt so rock hard and cold.
Well, one of those is good.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry that I ran away all that time ago. I was caught in such a bad place. And I feel like I'm literally in pieces right now.
Put yourself together, man.
While you're patching things up, why don't I pull another card?
That sounds great.
All right.
Because we can't get on to the next scene until I draw 3 more cards, right?
No, we can keep going, but I'm trying to think. Like the next scene, depending. Well, it's actually up to Ben to set when the next scene takes place. So if Ben were to say like it takes place tomorrow, we would just have to draw 3 more cards before then because you have to draw 1 per hour.
All right. Well, let me know, Ben.
Okay. Is it my cutscene now?
Yeah.
I might just need another one. Did we have a second thief sheet?
Yeah, we do actually.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't think it's... The one
I get
time
to tear up my sheet. I'm so excited.
I knew, that's why I asked.
Well, to be fair, we didn't know what the deck of many things
I guess
did.
I wasn't, yeah, we couldn't have
That's
told I was going to get wished. I mean, I don't really need my sheet, I guess.
I mean, how many times have I actually made you roll dice today?
That's true. Okay, so am I starting a scene now?
Yep, it's up to you to establish the scene. You have just been turned into a statue, shattered into a million pieces, and come back to life. And
might
yeah,
have a
if the scene
headache.
is more than an hour away, or like more than probably like 40 minutes, I don't know, maybe 30. I don't know how long Chint's going to be occupied, but but if your scene is more than about an hour away, Chint's gone, and if it's for every hour away from now that it is, your sweetie has to make one wish.
Chint seems very good at what he does.
I
but
feel
I'm
like
not
Chint's
sure about,
efficient.
I'm not sure about Coletica.
Well, when you guys showed up, you said you'd been talking to him for 53 minutes, and wasn't Chint only here for an hour?
Well, no, he had 53 minutes left.
Ah.
Yeah. So, okay. Damn, a lot of stuff has happened. It's, I would say, the next day.
Okay, so I should draw 3 more cards.
You
Yeah.
should draw. You should get on that and draw 3 more cards. So, are you going to go somewhere and draw them? Or are you still out in the street? Like,
I think this is, you know, the deck is reminding me this is it. You're out of time because we've been behind a shed.
yeah,
We totes made out. There you go. Internet.
it happened.
Terry and Zal, they got
Oh,
they
no.
got they got diggity.
But what a Coletica.
So,
Yeah.
I have 2 more cards after this, except, well, I still don't have my whales.
You have.
So like let's say we're in the middle of we're in the middle of smooching, and you're like, oh right, I have to draw a card.
You draw the card.
Yeah, well, that's going
And
to be
then what happens?
I drop dead.
you are struck dead with no hope of salvation. No save. You die.
I look down at you. I look down at Zal and go, no! Zal! You were an admirable sweetheart. Damn it.
So this is an hour later, or no? This is your scene's like a day later.
Well, yeah, this happened. So I guess he's dead. My scene now takes place the next day, and I'm like sort of grieving.
Now,
I guess.
just to remind you, if you wanted it to be like a flashback of all the good times you've had together,
Yeah.
you are allowed to establish that scene. You know, you
I
can.
feel like I want to round out the story though too.
Yeah, it's, you can
I
do.
like
you can
both.
do. You can do whatever
Damn.
you want. Is you
So
are.
I've got the deck now as well.
But you can't make
picked
any
it
more
up.
wishes,
No,
right?
that's true.
But you could hand the deck over to the leader of the sandwiches.
Yes, that's so. I group up. I find Crankor eventually the
So I'm
next.
back to being Euphemia now.
I find Crankor the next day, and we talk about, hey, yeah, I'm alive again. Isn't that crazy?
Terry, that was when your face went flying away from me towards that woman. I was confused and a little bit aroused. But you came back to life, and I'm happy you're back.
And I agree. I'm happy to be back, and we had another life adventure, but obviously, based on what's going on, we need to end this sandwich tyranny that's going on in this town.
There's too much political strife going on in this town for anything else to have.
We can't get grave robbing if the graves are gonna pop. If things in the graves are gonna pop up and kill us.
And moreover, if everyone is a socialist, ain't nobody gonna be burying anyone with wealth for us to take.
That's a very good point. I think we need to get rid of this euphemia of the sandwiches.
Well, at least have a conversation with her.
Yeah, one or the other.
Perhaps we can bring Chet back to.
But
help us
where
out.
is she?
That's a good question. What? Now, where's the driest place in town? Well, that would be out near the dam.
Conveniently, that's where I am.
So we go to the dam, and I have a necklace that Zal used to always wear around my neck.
All right. So the dam is a little ways out of town. Are you just walking out there? Are you gonna?
Well, I've got Terry too.
Right.
And I will be wearing knee socks too.
Okay, so you got Terry too. You got knee socks. You taking anyone else with you at all, or anything else?
We started this. We gotta end it
Yeah,
ourselves.
we bring all of our equipment and the deck.
Okay.
Just you and me and Chint in our hearts.
Okay. So you head out and you start following the canyon up along the gulch, which of course is completely dry. There's nothing in it. It's just all dust at the bottom. You reminisce about how sad you are that the whole everything that has happened.
I was just coming back around. I was finally coming to terms with the fact that I could love again. And then, literally, while I was about to drop trouser, they dropped dead.
It's a sad. Is that necklace just soap on a rope?
It is. It was always Zal's favorite thing to be clean. He was a clean boy.
That's. I'm sorry.
I fear that I can never love again. We gotta end this.
All right.
I gotta get rid of this damn deck.
After some time riding up by the canyon, you see a young goblin boy at the bottom of the canyon, looking up whimsically. He looks up at you.
Right, my religion.
And as if his prayers have been answered, he puts his hands to heaven and smiles as if to say, "Thank you."
Ah, young goblin. Perhaps I could interest you.
He's like 30 feet below you, but...
Okay. Ah, young goblin. Thank you so much for being a part of the religion of Terry. Hey, say, would you like to draw a card? Take a card, any card from this deck, and your wishes shall be granted.
You're like holding it out to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he starts climbing up the side of the canyon, and after a pain...
Oh, he's at the bottom of the canyon. I thought he was... Yeah, come on up. Come here. Come draw a card, buddy.
Here, boy.
After a painfully long time of climbing up the side of the canyon, he slips and drops down a little ways. And he's like, his knees are kind of skinned, but he's determined.
Yeah.
His saint is at the top of the canyon, so he continues clambering up, and he reaches out his hands to take whatever you're offering.
Yeah, can I just give him a card? Or
No, you can't take cards from it. But as you pass the box over to him, you hear, Dukika, mak, blah, 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 goblin, 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 blah, blah, blah. And he goes,
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh no.
I wanted to draw one and see if I could either make this a magical moment or make... But I will seem like a god at the end of this.
I mean, yes, one way or another.
Yeah.
You might want to.
If he gets ambushed, we're walking away.
If you've got some beef, you might want to have it ready just in case.
So he falls over, just completely falls backwards. The deck is still in his hands.
Can I grab the deck before he falls?
Make me a saving throw versus paralysis, I guess.
Okay.
Nope, not that one.
Wait, on mine?
There we go. Well, they're all ones on your sheet, so you're good.
I don't actually know what my saving throw is.
You ripped directly through the second digit.
Okay, you know what? We'll make it a dexterity check. We know your dexterity is 15 after the magical
yeah.
that you got before, so make 15 or lower.
7.
Okay, you grab the deck.
Yeah.
Okay, the goblin falls back, splatters in the bottom of the canyon, and another goblin comes out of the cave, is like, and then grabs his corpse and starts dragging it back into the cave, looking hungry and.
Terry provides again. I put it in my pack, and I'm like, let's continue, Gregor.
Can't see a reason.
I refuse to ever get rid of this.
So after some time, you come to the point where you can see the dam. So like over the horizon, you see the canyon, and then there's like just the dam stretching across it. This giant edifice of stone and concrete and whatnot. It has tons of dwarven engineering put into it, and you can see that they've been carving stuff into the sides of it, depicting all the royalty and the bourgeois folks from the from Pewter Hawk City.
Right.
So they're. Oh, there's one guy up on there still working on it. But yeah, so that they can look over the canyon. So weirdly enough, near the bottom of the canyon, like right at the foot of the dam, there is this entire forest of cacti, just like sprung up out of nowhere. You could have sworn that there were no cacti here before, when it was just like, you know, a river and it led to a gulch and all this kind of stuff. And now there's just this big cactus forest all down there. And in the very center of the cactus forest is a huge cactus, just like 20 feet across, massive cactus.
I look around the cactus. Do I see anybody around the cactus?
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
Is there any way I could communicate with them?
They have to be in a certain state of mind to make them. But you know, you could maybe try and communicate with them or make that happen somehow.
Well, I mean, I can make a magical suggestion.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Because otherwise I can't. Right, so let's see. And then they say the victim must make a saving throw. Save versus spells -3 penalty.
Yes.
So I don't know what your saving throws are, but I'm going to
Me
try.
either.
I'm going to try to.
Funnily enough,
I need to make a magical suggestion to you. So I'm going to try to do that using my cactus power.
Okay, you can do it to one of them. So
-3.
maybe the person with the character sheet.
Yeah, I'm going to make it to Crankor.
So
Crankor.
8.
Ooh, wow, that's right.
So you want to roll your save value or higher.
I want to roll a save or higher.
Yes.
Well, nope. I am totally within your thrall.
Crankor, I know how to save the people of Dry Gulch. But I really need you to get real wasted on tequila so you can talk to me. It is me, Euphemia.
That's a very elaborate suggestion, as like D&D suggestions go. But
Go get wasted.
No, you know
Get
what?
drunk.
I'm hearing words that are speaking my language.
What are you talking about? We're in a desert with a big cactus.
Look, they're up here. You're out here. But
You know what? I'm inclined to believe you because I died and came back to life yesterday, and that's probably you hearing voices is not the weirdest thing.
look,
that's
I
gone
chiseled
on.
your face off and it went flying away from me. So yeah, there's some
You know
stuff
what?
going on.
You listen to those voices, buddy.
You know what? That voice is telling me to get drunk. Did you bring the celebratory brandy?
Yes, I did.
That's not gonna work.
And I pull out a big thing of brandy.
You did. Now,
You can
as
take
you
more
know,
suggestions. You can do it.
Tequila!
As-
Tequila! Mezcal!
as you
something.
know,
Tequila!
we can't do shots
Yeah.
of brandy without chasing them with
Shots of tequila! That's why I brought the other bottle!
Let's get into it.
All right, shot of brandy, shot of tequila, side by side.
3, 2,
One,
1, clang! We're very lightweight.
Okay,
No,
so like I think the way this is gonna work is like you take your one shots and like suddenly you can almost like hear the voice on the wind. Like it's like, oh wow, you can kind of hear it too now.
Yeah.
But it's very
Keep
faint,
drinking.
very faint and very difficult to hear.
Keep drinking!
Sounds like we should keep drinking.
I wasn't gonna stop, so yeah.
Who's out there? Strange voice in my head.
It's
I'm
me!
just carving up here. You can ignore me.
Hey, do you want to come drink with us?
Yeah.
Come
it's
on,
break
Dick.
time.
Hey, how do you feel about decks of cards?
I love decks of cards.
We got a fun
Hey,
game you can play.
It's Crankor. You came back to the clan. Welcome back.
Oh,
It's a dwarf.
fudge 'em all.
You can't escape your past.
I'm so happy that you're back with us. Look at this great big thing we've built up out into the sky.
God damn it, it's up there. There ain't even nothing in there that's worth having.
You know, Crankor, being underground's pretty cool, but we gotta admit that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's very big.
What are you
Took a
talking
lot
about?
of-
The entire interior is lined with gold.
Here's a... Hold on.
It's lined with what?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
sorry. And I'll speak dwarf. Should we? We should deal with this intruder.
I mean,
I have a big axe.
he's with me. He's with me.
Okay, you vouch for him then.
I will. Yes.
Okay.
Why'd you have to second think of that? I mean, I'm not hearing this, so I don't know what I'm saying. I just assume you're fighting out that. I'm just doing that thing.
What happened to tequila? Do you want some or not?
Yes, I would love some.
Great.
I have a stein over here.
On the job, eh?
Yeah, how would I do this job without beer?
That's fair.
It's very true.
We turn up with the dwarf.
Can you hear me?
There we go. That's
Perfect.
It is I, Euphemia. In one of his last acts, Zal wished that I would become the leader of the Sandwiches, which is rad as hell because they're all lady nymphs and we are one big, sexy, interconnected organism. It's party time everywhere, but ever since the dwarves built the dam, the cactuses that they inhabit have been drying up. And you know what sapphic adventures don't do well with? Excessive dryness. We need to destroy the dam, or the cactuses will attack Dry Gulch. We need to release the river, stick it to the fat cats, and replenish this wonderful cactus lady paradise.
Terry, we need to blow up this dam, get all that gold, and get Euphemia wet as hell.
But if we no, hang on. If we blow up the dam, we don't have anywhere to put the gold. Like, part of the point here is that we have all this gold, and by sealing it in the dam, we're keeping it safe.
See, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Can I attack him as a sandwich?
For sure.
All right, I'm going to attack him.
Now, the main way that sandwiches attack people is by suggesting that they walk into cactuses, obviously.
Why don't you come and debate your point of view with our sexy lady cactuses?
I will do this.
See, now, Terry, here's one of the things I was worried about.
Yeah, like I'm personally scarred probably for the rest of my life.
As much as I'm interested in imagining a bunch of cactuses getting it on and rubbing bits of cactus against each other.
No, that's the point. Once the water comes out of the dam, then we don't need to attack people to get moisture. If you release the river, the nymphs that have been living here for thousands of years will no longer attack people and raise zombies.
Well, these sexy nymphs don't necessarily want anything with you and me here with our own spines.
We don't want you except for your precious fluids.
I don't feel like dying again.
And I got one more reason why it's in our best interests to release all that gold and water from the dam.
Because gold is good?
Gold is very good. We can get gold on our own way. But you know what?
I do know how to pan.
Why don't we just let everyone else get the gold, and when they shuffle off out of this town, in whatever way that may be, you know what I'm saying, we get the gold
We become
ourselves.
murderers, yeah.
No! We let anyone else kill them, and then we take the gold from the graves.
Right, because we're grave robbers! Yeah! Sorry, alcohol does a thing to my... Yeah.
So can you guys go, like, blow the hell out of this dam? Like, right now, I'm a cactus dryad, so I'm working on undermining the foundation, but it's slow work and we're thirsty.
Do we have access to a lot of explosives?
I bet the dwarves probably have explosives laying around from building the stupid dam in the first place.
There's one thing I know about dwarves, is that they like explosives.
Okay, well, let's go to the dam then.
Could you do me a favor, though? Could you paint anarchy now on the dam before you blow it up?
We'll do what we can, Euphemia. We'll do what we can.
All right, I'm going to go back to talking to a lot of thirsty ladies. If you got that.
We both go, hey.
All right. So what we know is that
we stumble off drunk into the desert.
Most of the dwarves in the dam are dead.
Yeah.
There are not very many more of them. So let's. What I'm going to do is just get the four of you to storytell the sort of final sequence of this. Pretend it's like an action movie, and we're entering the final sequence where finally all the people are like working in tandem, and you're cutting back and forth between the different people and seeing what they're doing together to make the final big push toward whatever work. You've got an abandoned dam that's probably full of explosives and gold that you want to explode. Tell me how that goes, starting over here.
Well, so I assume we get to the dam.
I mean, you tell me.
All right, we get to the dam.
Gallop up to the head of the dam.
We get up to the dam, and I go, all right, you deal with the explosives. I guess because I'm really good at scaling walls, I'll go paint anarchy now on the dam.
That sounds like a damn fine point. Hey, you know who hasn't drawn any cards yet?
Who?
Euphemia.
Oh, that's true. Euphemia, are you around?
I'm probably dealing with, like, the cactuses stuff. I don't think being a cactus spirit I can be super helpful in this regard.
Can you, like, portal to other cactuses?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yes, you can.
Oh, I can.
It's straight up there.
That's
You
a
can
dryad thing.
You can dimension door from one cactus to another cactus.
Yeah, but there's no cactuses on the dam.
That's true. But you
Right?
can grow cactuses wherever you want to.
Okay, I will try to grow a line of cactuses up to the top of the
Why
dam.
the hell did a dwarf put a pet cactus in a pot in the middle of a dam in this control room?
It is I,
Euphemia!
You're tiny now! And you got a cute little flower on top.
Oh, I know, it's so cute. So I'm a little cactus right now.
Do you want to draw some cards from this deck?
I got everything I've ever wanted.
Cool.
So yes, after I blow up this dam, because it's important for story resolution.
Okay, sounds good. We can do the card thing after.
Well, it's unfortunately all of the explosive. For some reason, the dwarves have decided to embed into the dam as some sort of a self-destruct mechanism, which is what's keeping them in power here and out in that city, which name I forgot. That is Pewterhawk.
Pewter, yeah.
Euphemia, I'm gonna have to ask you something.
What's that?
I'm gonna need you
Yes,
to sit here.
I'm a tiny cactus.
I'm gonna put your pot on the self-destruct button.
Perfect.
Now it's important that you understand that when you're pushing buttons, a full push of the button is down and up. So what we're gonna do here is sort of a run. We're gonna run 100% of the time out of this place. And on this 100% run, we're gonna need you to just do a half press on this button.
I mean, I'm a cactus, so you're gonna set my pot down, and that's about it, really.
Did you just make the joke?
Can I like move as a cactus or anything like that, or am I sort of like?
I mean,
in line
you're like
cactus?
sort of a person that is inside a cactus,
Yeah,
not
but
so
I'm,
much.
I'm like not a moving cactus.
No.
Yeah, I can go from a big stationary cactus to a big I am very like I'm happy, but I'm a cactus spirit essentially. Well, a cactus dryad. But you can put my pot down on the button.
We're gonna do that.
Why don't you put my pot down on the button and then tie a rope around the pot, and then you can pull the pot off the button.
Just like we did with the banner and
Oh
the
man,
thing!
we only have one plan when it comes to exploding things, and it involves a lot of rope and pulling shit away.
But it works!
It works.
I've got a 100% record on exploding things.
So I think Carl Fredfurter has heard that there are shenanigans at the dam, so he's riding out to try to put a stop to this.
I'm on the outside now, painting anarchy now on the dam with, I guess, a big thing of paint.
So I'm taking pot shots at you
Somewhere
with
is
a
my
crossbow.
actual inventory. I'll let you know.
I'm sure there's dwarven paint inside that you could grab.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm terrible at this, but I'm taking pot shots at you with my crossbow because I'm worried that you're doing something to the dam that is keeping me in power.
Oh, I certainly am. I mean, I'm
as-
defacing it on the outside for one.
As sort of the queen of the cactuses, even though right now I'm in this tiny cactus, do I sense a disturbance among other cactuses?
Sure. I mean, they can communicate with you. Why not?
Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta go. Just pull the pot off. And I'm gonna go into a cactus that's closer to Carl. Psst, Carl, do you like money?
Oh man, I had too much tequila before I came out here.
Do you like sexy cactuses? Look at me. I'm like a cactus with boobs.
So Carl would be intrigued. And
I'm not very good at seducing men.
Look at me, I'm like a thing with boobs.
Euphemia is doing her best.
so I guess Carl goes off, and soon there is some penetration of some sort happening. And
I was like, we can't say that.
because the cactus needles are.
Yes, yeah.
Then there's going to be the sucking, which
Right. Yep. All right, I noticed the pot shots have stopped.
So how are we? How much do you want from us? Like,
I mean, I guess I just want to hear about how you blow up the dam.
All right,
then
so
we
I
blow
get
up
off
the
the
dam.
dam. Yeah, I get off the dam and I'm at the entrance.
Tell me how dramatic it is. Tell me about the moment
Can
where
I
you.
roll that back a bit there?
Sure. Okay. Yes. I'm
You're
still painting.
outside painting.
Yeah.
You're hanging off the edge of the dam on your thing. And I run outside near the top and yell, Terry! Get your good stuff out of there! This thing is gonna blow in as soon as I pull this cord!
Hold on! I'm still on the A in anarchy.
Just put a circle around it! I think that's what it means!
But are people gonna understand symbolism?
Not when it's blown up! All we need to make sure is that the gold gets out!
Hold on, semantic squat-wise for just a moment.
I
Why
think
am
you
I
put the second A. I think you put A and A.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
the
that's
second
the second A. Yeah. And why am I even painting on this if we're gonna blow it up anyway? No one's gonna see it.
I'm gonna see it!
You for me did something for me a long time ago, and now it's time for me to do something for her.
What? Have somebody else paint a thing?
Back when I was just a young miner, I couldn't get what I needed, so I gave up my last coin so that I could lawfully start my mine. And she said no, she would put that through for me all on her own so that I could wet my whistle. And now, dadgummit, I'm gonna wet hers. So you get yourself off of that wall so that we can get the gold out there and she can get the sploosh she deserves.
All right, I'll just do a quick. I'll do that thing that people do on birthday banners when they run out of room, and it's just like A and then CHY, and then I start like running off the dam.
You for me, you ready?
I'm ready!
Pull the lever!
Here comes the explosion.
And with a magical, epic explosion, all the explosives that were apparently wired into the sides of the dam as a self-destruct mechanism for some reason explode, making an epic explosion and flooding the gulch with a ton of water from the river, which charges in, covering up the cactuses, getting them good and wet, and sending water down towards the town of Dry Gulch.
My God, my friend, Terry, good stuff. It's like a golden shower for those sapphic cactuses.
My thirst is quenched!
Soon we can wet our whistle in there too. Just as soon as those dead bodies go back to where they belong.
It's only a matter of time before they all. Wait, I got a real question for you.
Shoot.
Are we the baddies?
And see. Well, that was a game that resembled Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah!
So I'm glad we've tried it out. When we do it for real and the cameras are rolling, I think we should behave more.
Yeah, be a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Maybe have some more game mechanics too. I feel like
I'll be sure to pass that along to the guy who's usually dungeon mastering here.
I mean, we did the D&D things you're supposed to do. We did a saving throw. We did some attacks. One of us died.
Yeah, 2 of us died.
2 of us died. Yeah.
2 people died and 1 person turned into the bad monster.
Yeah.
It's a bad monster.
Oh, there's an army of cactuses that are going to be like springing their way towards Pewter City, and they're going to be spelling out "Death to the bourgeoisie."
Like that's their formation.
Yeah.
That they were, it's like a marching band.
That ain't good.
I didn't know I was destroying your character when I put you in charge.
Oh, that's okay.
I felt that worked out, but basically as well as it possibly could have.
This was
No.
terrific.
I'm just
Great.
happy that I ended up with as many hit points at the end as I started with.
It was a really harrowing journey. How is Ian the only one who took damage but didn't die? This game.
Ben, when you're as good as I am.
That was perfect.